He's been a barrister at law since 1978 in Cameroon. He's been the president of the Cameroon Bar Association from 1997 to 2002. And before that, his older brother, Barrister Ben Muna, was also the president of the Cameroon Bar Association. I can't remember the year, but he's a founding member of the president of the Pan-African Lawyers Union. He's a goodwill ambassador of the African Legal Support. I mean, the CV is extensive. As for his civil society activities, since 2002, for those of you who've heard of Transparency International, Transparency International are the people who regulate or, they put those who are top of the tops, they do the corruption rankings. That's Transparency International. So AKERE Muna is a founding member of Transparency International since the year 2000. He's subsequently been member of the international board, vice chairman of Transparency International, and just many other things. I'm not going to go through all of this. He's a member of the Standing Committee of the African Union, Financial Audits, International Legal Consultant of the World Bank and High Commission of Refugees. I mean, IMF, you name it, he's done that, okay? But here's the issue that I would love to address, which I said earlier is an undercurrent. Okay. There are a lot of people who say, oh, not a Muna again. Oh, there are a lot of people who say that. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Okay. Things have happened. And today, for those of us from the English-speaking side of Cameroon, there's that blame. Oh, Pa Muna did this, Pa Muna did that. Well, Foncha did this, Foncha did that. Please, let's remember, both Foncha and Muna, they came here to the United Nations. They returned to Cameroon, and at some point in their lives, they did apologize. Now, let me ask all of you this, especially for those of us from the English-speaking side who are seated here. We've had, we have, it's ongoing, our problem from our side of the country. Look at the leaders who, or the so-called leaders who have been here. We have, I don't know, the last counting, maybe 4 or 5 Southern Cameroon's presidents, right? And if you think about it critically, some of those people have degrees. Others purport to have degrees and have the label doctor in front of their name. They are here. They live with us in these United States. All of us with degrees, bachelors, masters, PhDs, professors. Are we not there to advise them? The mistakes these guys have made are worse than the Pa Munas and Foncha secondary school leaders. Worse. So how could you expect that a Pa Muna, a Foncha, or Endeli would not make certain mistakes? I mean, were these guys avowed politicians, right? So wherever I know those questions will come up, and that's fine, but you pose your questions, but I want us, at least for these preliminaries, as we're engaging each other, to think through, to think through some of these things, so that we should not allow mistakes of, let's call it, and for those of you who are, Christians, whether it's generational curses or, country fashion, right? Okay. Let's not leave these things to, we are where we are today in Cameroon. We have a leader in front of us. We have a clean-cut leader. He has not stained himself, as other speakers have spoken here, to engage in government office or do this or do that. No. And there were several opportunities for him to. But he stayed clear of all of these things. So you take AKERE Muna out of the equation, what else do we have? Peter Metambi has stood here. He has told you, what else do we have? Everybody is complaining in Cameroon, from a Ben Skinner to the people who are selling Gary. Everybody is complaining. He said it. That's the reality. If you visited Cameroon, you will see the anger in everybody. You know? All right. I don't know if at this point anyone has a question or wants to say something. Quite frankly, for now, the floor is open before I call upon a next speaker. If you have a question, you have a remark, please feel free. Nobody has monopoly of anything here. Like I said earlier, this is a town hall style event. We're going to bring the candidate up, but if you have some remarks, you want to say something, you want to ask something, let me register it and pass on to our candidate when he speaks or the other speakers. Please, this is a time I can give you the mic. Very briefly, the traditional dance group, the Babakubin folk, please, if you can prepare, go out there, meet your leader, your chef, your pet, and start preparing your dance, because within the next 15, 20 minutes, we're going to call you out.
Diaspora micro. D'accord, 100. Voilà. Son, écho. Son, on est, test, one, two.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Woo! Everything looks good. Good to go? Great. Great. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy. I am happy. All right. Let me reintroduce myself. This is CRT. We will rewind the cameras. Okay. Are you excited to be here? Wonderful, wonderful. My name is Kenneth Nde. And welcome to the USA tour for presidential candidate AKERE Muna. Today, Saturday, July 19, 2025. I believe in our God, so we are going to start with a word of prayer. We have Barrister Pangmashi Yenkom, who shall usher us in a word of prayer. But before he comes, please, we shall have the candidate AKERE Muna coming so that this word of prayer should also bless him. So may you please rise as we welcome the candidate for a brief word of prayer and start officially our program tonight. Barrister Pangmashi, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everyone. We're about to pray. Tonight, we are praying to the God who makes all things possible. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of hope and expectation, lifting up our beloved nation, Cameroun, into your mighty hands. Lord, you see the pain, the broken systems, the deep corruption, and the suffering of your people under a leadership that has long overstayed its course. You see the tears of the oppressed, the cries of the poor, the desperation of a people trapped under decades of authoritarian rule. But Lord, you are a refuge, a deliverer, and the restorer of nations. Today we pray for your servant, Barrister AKERE Tabeng, a man I know, and a man you know, of integrity, wisdom, and courage. We thank you, Father, for his boldness to stand up and speak truth where silence has prevailed for too long. We thank you for the legacy of leadership he carries, not for fame or power, but for justice, transparency, and a better Cameroon. Lord, we ask for divine favor upon this campaign meeting. Let it be a gathering of purpose, unity, and vision. Let Cameroonians at home and abroad hear the call, not just the voice of a man, but the voice of destiny urging them to rise, to believe, and to build. Father God in heaven, may you remove every spirit of despair and hopelessness. May you ignite in our hearts the fire of patriotism and remind us that change is possible, even when the darkness feels overwhelming. We pray, God, that you surround Barrister AKERE Tabeng with godly counsel, loyal helpers, and divine protection. May no weapon fashioned against him prosper. May every tongue that rises up against him, the Bible says, he shall condemn it. We pray, Lord, that when his enemies come like a flood, may the Lord raise a standard against it for his sake. May his message for us tonight and the days ahead be clear, inspiring, and transformative. May every Cameroonian at home and abroad recognize the urgency of this hour and unite to support this noble cause. Father God in heaven, we therefore declare that Cameroon will rise again, that justice will flow like a river and righteousness like a mighty stream, that a new generation of leaders will emerge, honest, selfless, and accountable, that the old corrupt order will pass away and a new dawn will break upon the land. And so, Lord, we ask that today's meeting will be a turning point. Let it spark a movement, not just of politics, but of faith, courage, and collective action. We believe you are not done with Cameroon. We believe in your power to rebuild. And we believe that you can use Barrister AKERE Tabeng as a vessel for this great transformation. We ask all this through the mighty name of Jesus, that may the Lord hear our prayer, and that every wish we have attain fruition. In the mighty name of Jesus we've prayed. And the people of God said amen.
Thank you, Barrister, for anointing us. Okay. One country, two national anthems. Cameroon is complicated. That's why we need a unifier. Where's the pretty lady with the beautiful voice? We need someone to tune our national anthem. My voice is very awkward. So, quite frankly, it doesn't make sense for me to. But where's Mabel? We're ready for the national anthem. Okay, well, while we're waiting for Mabel, for those who don't know, when West Cameroon joined East Cameroon in 1961, Professor Bernard Fonlon was handed the French national anthem to go and translate it. He went to translate it, and in the process of translating it, he himself could not understand the matter. So he wrote something else. Yes, that's a fact. Cameroon has two national anthems. The rhythm is the same, but they are different. At one point, they tried to translate it where they say, "O Cameroon, thou cradle of our fathers, bold standing and jealous of thy liberty," but that couldn't work. So we had to revert to, "O Cameroon, thou cradle of our fathers, holy shrine where in our midst they now repose." The original French version there, it was, anyway, it was about sauvagerie. Oh, barbarie, okay. And both, so, but, okay, Mabel, please, we're ready for you to come and sing our national anthem, because we're here today. Mabel, this is as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We are actually rehearsing the inauguration of the president in October. Yeah.
Can everybody stand up, please? Thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. O Cameroon, thou cradle of our fathers, only shrine where in the midst they have repose. That's right. Oh, hands when they saw the war, God on thy hills and valleys once their teenage rose. Yeah, fatherland, I was no tongue can tell. How can we ever pay thy dues? Thy welfare we will win in joy and love and peace. Will be to thy name ever true. Land of promise, land of glory, thou and joy, your holy soul. Thine be honor, thine devotion, and dependence forevermore. Pécherie, tu es notre frère bonheur, notre joie et notre vie. Dieu, à toi l'amour et le grand bonheur.
Ah, thank you. Whew. Some of us who have lived out of Cameroon for more than 30 years, at least we still, we still remember. Okay, next on our program, if, let's see, if our dance group is not ready, I don't think they're ready, maybe this would be a good time to, are they ready? Okay, no, if they're not ready, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I can resort to comedy. We've been too serious at this time. I think we need some laughter right now. Bless you. A little. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. Okay. Let's just move resolutely to. Okay. No, that's fine. I think I saw our senior pastor. There he is making his grand entrance. Senior pastor, I know I did not prepare you. But ladies and gentlemen, if you know this guy, he just wowed me. He wowed us. Yes. And I can assure you that by the time he leaves this stage, you know, you'll be you how do you say, you'll be crying of laughter, you'll be dying, you'll be crying. Please welcome senior pastor to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. If you're happy, let me know you. Ho, ho, ho. If you're happy, let me know you. Ho, ho, ho. If you're happy, let me know. I really want to show. If you're happy, let me know you. Ho, ho, ho. If you're happy, let me know. Say Mukala. I'm so happy to be here. Our president will celebrate you. This is my second time meeting you. I remember the last time he was in Yaoundé, Presbyterian Church, Simeon. And after the service, you show me love. This one, you show me bigger love. Well, you know, why the situation of the country now, yesterday, so my neighbor we don't die 10 years ago, come and told me for dream. Now he told me, say, I used to power contest again for election. I said, yes. He said, thank God, we don't die since. Even a knife, I don't still die. I'm called senior pastor. I'm not a real pastor, to avoid any spiritual attacks. I'm a comedian. This is my third time in US. And standing in front of you, what can bring me in front of you like this should be talent. Because I normally used to say the particular jokes. If it was an academic background or educational background, I didn't have any. Because I wrote GC 8 times. Thank God for talent. I wrote GC Saturday, they called me for Limbe past question. Number 6 time, GC boss sent me a t-shirt. They wrote a perseverance. 2016, I was a little bit popular. I just told myself, actually, let me even have ordinary level. So that's how I enrolled myself in evening school, Limbe, Newtown External. So our center didn't have a center number because it's the evening school. So we have to write the GC in Seka Baptist College. So I'm a secretary. Secretary, So I'm a secretary by the virtue of writing GC in Seka. I know something about this schoolwork. You know, easy. Sometimes I celebrate all everybody who has getting. I see some people are doctors. You know, easy. Everything that you read will so automatically suddenly just disappear from your head. I was in that hole. Ordinary to spell is was my problem. IS. So they can't tell you say speco don't leak. Please, are you people getting me? I'm not okay. No, they can't tell you say speco don't leak. So normally, evening school will mostly depend on SPECO. I just want us to relax. We'll depend on so much on SPECO. And the person who don't come master the whole SPECO for class, his name na Gibet. So Gibet say go to help we with cough. If the right answer na A, because it's multiple choice English. If na A, inside that second hole, you go make. If na B, C. That's why we don't arrange them. So that night, Gilbert go sleep, read cough and holy. As our village will know what time we pass. Read cough and hold Gilbert. So when we don't reach to that sector that morning, give her the signal inside her, say my throat, we try to tell you, say my boy, if the try for signal, we send a recall, we no believe. So before they rang the bell outside sector, give them a, oh, we don't do her, eh? We don't shade, give a go. See? One will say, one will drag another, eh, on a bill. We go for B until the one hooky. I want to see the guy cough, say, the body cough will recant almost why. We look for option. You know, reach why. Now we just decide for put why for corner. Now, so I think I feel again. So celebrate talents, clap for talents. Now, as an Anglophone in Cameroon, I live in Limbe, actually. The highest commodity in Southwest now, or Northwest, is called ID card. So for you to travel and forget your ID card, it's better you forget your transport. So that's how I was traveling until I got to, I left my ID card unknowingly until I got to police checkpoint in Muselele. So policeman say, everybody your ID card. I say, Chef, Joe blame on card. Chef, who are you? J'ai dit chef, je suis comédien. Chef dit comédien, il fait quoi? J'ai dit chef, comédien, il fait rire. Chef dit alors, fais-moi rire pas. Na so affair, il no rire. Anang my joke, policeman he laugh. Anak all my joke, na so chef the look me. Na here I move colo, 1,000. Sorry? As I move 1,000, I put up for policeman and he boss laugh. So we are very, very funny. You are true, you are a good comedian. I see the laugh, my friend. I say, il peut tout rire quoi? Il dit, les gars, si les bons comédiens, il dit comédien, il dit oui, il dit pas faire l'autre chef rire. I say, chef, that means for an laugh joke. I don't get that joke, you're plenty. So the second time I had encounter with police was somebody invited me one day for the first time. They paid me 600,000 to come and perform for a wedding. So my problem was my ID card was expired. I told myself, how will I leave 600,000 because of ID card? No. I went to the internet. I looked for the old woman who looks like me. I printed a picture of the mama. I wrote at the picture, rest in peace, mama. So as I write on the picture, anytime I reach a police checkpoint, I say, everybody ID card, I will just move the picture. Chef, voir mon grand-mère, il est mort. Chef, this my grandmother is dead. I don't do it for Southwest, he walk. Now, Yaoundé, if you travel with bus for Yaoundé, if you get to the checkpoint, everybody goes down and you show your ID card and you cross. So I got to that place. They say, everybody, your ID card, I move my secret. Chef, this is my grandmother is dead. I was shocked. The policeman took the picture. He looked at the picture. Now he asked me for French. C'est ton grand-mère? Is that your grandmother? I say, yes. He looked at the picture again. C'est ton grand-mère? I say, yes. He called a friend. Ibe, tout le monde vient. Come, everybody, come and look at this picture. All the police people came and looked at the picture. They looked at me. They asked me, c'est ton grand-mère? I say, oui. They said, Anglophone. They asked enough for English. May your grandma need this? I say, yes. They said, lock him up. I spent 6 days for police custody. Now, number 7 days, I realized that picture I print another policeman, mommy. Oh, I write, rest in peace. Now, me arrest. Ladies, if you're happy, can you wave your hands? Let me see. We are here. I will have much time with you. No, normally, there's a dream that you will dream that never come to pass. We'll come to America, we'll have American dreams, and most of the American dreams are coming to pass. But Cameroon, if you dream, we don't have Cameroon dream, but we're having it, amen. From now, we will dream and we will see our dream come to pass. Yes. In Cameroon, we dream every beautiful things, you will never see it. But later, we dream a peaceful bed, but that one come to pass. That one comes fast. So I dream while coming here that I will be performing like this and they will spray me money. Will that dream come to pass here? Is that dream valid? It depends for now. May some dream for my life come to pass. Amen. I'm a father of two. That's why we need a new Cameroon. We need change. I did a performance at on May 15th at one of the biggest comedy show in Cameroon. It's called La Nuit de Rue. When I perform, mostly I perform for French and perform on English. I'm the first Anglophone comedian to go for Parlement de Rue in Ivory Coast. I'm the first comedian to perform for Abidjan Capital de Rue. I also went to Lagos, Nigeria for a competition. I came third in the whole Lagos. If you want to know who I am, you can check my handle, Senior Pastor Comedian. I've performed in so many platforms in Nigeria. Sometimes they think I'm Nigerian because they mostly accept what you do over there. And they know how to encourage financially. The first time I performed in Cross River State, the governor of Cross River State, he gave me ₦1 million. I was so shocked because in our own governor, in Southwest, before Okada Bela give you money, now you go even give money. But we are getting to a new Cameroon. Amen. No, the last joke before I leave here. Not every place you see help, you help. I was traveling and I needed to be in Yaoundé. I went to touristic in Douala, VIPs off. I needed to go to Finex for my first time. Enter Finex, I go enter that one they call it classic. I did inside Finex box. You try to get to Yaoundé. My focus is to get to Yaoundé. One woman was sitting beside me and was breastfeeding a child. He did give picking Bobby. So suddenly the woman would give the picking Bobby slept off. So the picking where they suck the Bobby now come over the picking him up. As Anglophone, I need to help. And because I was looking at the child was looking like me, like, uncle, help me. So now so I take the Bobby, see my put up for the picking him up. The mommy open your eye. The Bobby there for my hand. What I want to tell you, I look the mommy, they look me. The problem, how will I explain it in French? I did, I say, je. The slap of the mommy give me, no be get a son. Normally, please, am I doing well? Wave your hands, let me know whether I'm feeling myself. When you remove my eyeglass, when I see my eyes. I told you about the people that brought, they told me why you come, they said, Senior Pastor, today they will kill you money. I also know in a scam. I'm telling you, they didn't encourage me because I was to be what the state that was to be there today, Ohio. I was to be. They already paid me a ticket to be in Ohio for a wedding this today. I had to cancel it to be here because they convinced me. Hello, my caller. How are you doing? Yeah, be all right now. Right one this. No, there's something about us that have this color. I remember in school they used to call me Mukala. I used to be angry. One day some Peking called me Mukala. I started to follow the Peking for primary school. I fought bruise my knee. So they think first my papa. My father came to school the next day. Now they hollered the whole school for morning time. Mula not call Peking Mukala. My Peking is not Christian. Call him Christian. He know what in here. My father shouted until he looked me for back. Said, so anytime I see my color that for camera. We are very, very talented. We are good artists. No, I have a Zelle and I have a cash app. So if you want a Zelle, please take this number. It's serious for me. I'm a father of two, one girl, one boy. They're in Cameroun now. So man, not go back out there and say America did not show me love. It will not be funny. My children wanted to go to school this year. My son, the first time he won't go to school. Because one of you talk 2 years. His mommy insisted he must go for pre-nursery. They said senior pastor, a celebrity, our children should go to one of the most expensive schools. And so they carry my big was from school for Limbe. They say school fees now 500,000. Now I ask and say, for beginning one you talk. Because one not show your get sense. I ask them for the school say from the school we go in them. So the day for limbe day, man no go tell them say, "Oh, not show me love." Okay, this number is very, very important. Take it. This is my Zelle. 774, please. So if you take down this number, you help us. 774. Okay. Well, I see my caller again. Daddy, Daddy, Elaine. Yeah, no. 7744 86 96. So I won't come for you now. Wait now. I don't see. I know. Let's separate Peter from Barnabas. Yeah. So now we get one money. I shouldn't hear. My caller is family money we are collecting. So don't be, no, I call it that. Anything we get this, I used to be angry when they used to call me Mukala, but anything we get disadvantage, get advantage. One of the advantages of Mukala, I say Mukala, they need the grace. Now they ever see grace, Mukala. How many people are taking the number? Let me know, please. 7744 69 645. Okay, 7744. No, I know how they call her for this American. Okay, we were in Minnesota together and you helped me to call this particular number.
Yes. Okay. 77, the area code 774.
The area code, please.
774 486 9645. Okay, I'll take it one more time. 774 486 9645.
Okay, the last joke. People sing song according to their age. We see a child from the age of 0 to 10 years, nothing disturbed them. They sing song like, "The day is bright and fair. Oh, happy day." If you sing the day of joy, the day is bright and oh, happy day, the day of. That is 10 years. When they get to 20 years, nothing disturbed them. They sing song like, "I can see everything turning around, everything turning around, everything turning around for my good." 30 years, they are out of school now, they define work. You hear song like, "I have a father that will never ever. I have a father that will never ever. Jesus is my father, he will never ever. Rock of ages, never ever." 40 years, they don't get money now, they be proud. They sing song like, "People, they ask me, say." 50 years, na time for challenges. Anybody in the age of 50, ask them. Now they join church. They be fervent in the things of God. They sing song like, "My hope is built on nothing less." 60 years, "Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee." 70 years, "Soon and very soon, we are going to see the Lord." When they get to 80 years, you hear song like, "Pass me not, O gentle Savior." 90 years, "I surrender." 100 years, "This world is not my own." If you want to clap, you can clap now. As adults of person, "Mommy, you are from Limbe?" I'm looking at you like this. I've been looking at you since. Me, I'm from Limbe, and I love Limbe because all the streets in Limbe is named in English. You hear a place like, I'm from Newtown, English. You go again, say Down Beach, Cassava Farm, Animals Farm. If you have been to Limbe, we hear a name like Church Street, My One, My Two. That is Limbe. If you are traveling from Limbe, immediately you are entering Douala. You just get to another address. As you enter Douala, you just hear Carrefour music. You climb, yes, cemetery. But the worst na Yaoundé. Yaoundé get Carrefour Vogo. Carrefour Sorcier. Carrefour Kaka. Carrefour Toi Bordel. Carrefour Tu Raté Ma Vie. Carrefour. How many of you have been Yaoundé? Give me Carrefour. You have Carrefour. Carrefour is, that is Yaoundé. But I love Bamenda. Because Bamenda Street is like, the person who named Bamenda Street is like, he's a stammerer. He's a ntandem, ntavesi, ntarikum, ntatu. I've been looking at this thing, that it looks so rich. When you see a rich people like this, my daddy here, you know, see the cars outside. American cars, rich cars. Immediately you want to start in the morning. If some people start their car before they get to their car, that is American car. But in the Cameroon car now, you put here. Condition is critical. It's America that you will see a goat crying. You will see that is a goat in America. A goat in Cameroon now, these are not good. The rich people, you want to know the rich people from the way they even smile, even their perfume. You want to see the rich people achètent le parfum, they just go take the perfume. C'est combien? 500,000, 500,000, you pay. Mais poor man can't buy perfume. You don't go Mokolo, you take a here. Now how much 1.5? Where? No, they 800. At the time, you don't go occasion. The last one, wait. When see a rich man want to use the ATM card, money is good though. Oh, beautiful. Rich man will get there and you stand at the line and you're waiting for everybody and you will maybe see his friend. They'll be discussing, how are you? I saw in Amsterdam, that was in New York. There I has in Bonaprizo. They are discussing big. Can you give me 500,000? That rich man will get there, put a card. See rich code. Short. The money. Computer go move take off. Rich man. Go. Make poor man come. It is suspect on man. I don't like shoot now. Now go a beg. Now give me space, I beg. Pardon. City play, pardon. Rich man play, pardon. Poor man. Poor man put a card. See poor man code. $5,000. Thank you very much. If you have said something, you will see the name Livinus. That is the way you can support us from what we are doing as a comedian, as an artist. Most of us were in Cameroon. So this is my third time here. And by the grace of God, Cameroon will become a better place for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senior Pastor. I hope we can call him back again. Please, Senior Pastor will collect his offering as he's going to his seat. Yes. All right. I think we're ready for the dance group now. I will pass on the mic to Mabel to usher our dance group in.
Hey, I see Batone is checking his time. Viva Batone AKERE Muna! Viva the next president of Cameroon! Viva the next president of Cameroon! I believe in quality, and I believe in quality, not quantity. I don't believe in crowd. I'm that one person that I'm not moved by crowd. I move by impact. If I tell you that the next president of Cameroon is in this room, you would think I'm joking. But the next president of Cameroon is right here. And his name is Batone AKERE Muna. It's something that has been ordained. Anyone that has spiritual eyes can see. Not only that, you all know that I'm the queen of culture. I'm queen of Togo. So when I'm on the stage, it's because something is about to happen. We are not only here to talk, we're also here to dance, right? I want to introduce you to the first traditional group of the night. Is the Bamita Juju group. Bamukumbi Juju group, I'm sorry. They are here to dance, they will display. You can push your chairs because these guys, they don't play. We are not only here to talk, but we are also here to show our next president what we are capable of doing. Abi, I will say it again, the next president of Cameroon is in this room. Viva Batone AKERE Muna! The group is coming. Thank you.
Oya furangwe manyamje okwo furangwe. Oh furangwe. Oya furangwe manyamje okwo furangwe. Oh antamda. Oh furangwe haya. Ola antamda. Oh furangwe. Oh furangwe manyamje furangwe. Ola antamda. Oh furangwe. President, thank you. Thank you. All right, that was a wonderful traditional performance. Babu Kundit, I think many people don't know where that is, right? It's one of the Ngomba, Bamenda area traditional groups. And if you keep extending that history, it's pretty much the same big family tree with those in the Western Province and all the way to Adamawa. All right. Program is right on. We're going to officially welcome back to the stage, this time around in an official capacity, before we call our second dance group. He spoke a little bit earlier, just gave you a little gist of what he came here to the United States for. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. John AKERE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those who are not For those who are just joining us, I was here before now, and I believe this is the time we're supposed to speak. I am happy and elated being in front of all of you here. At least for this time, I want us to give a hand of applause for my champion, mentor, and the next president of the Third Republic of Cameroon. Please clap for Bartolomé. Many will be doubting why we are here. I believe a bit of that was said. And just beside him, there is somebody you will not know, and many might have not learned to know. Is the university don, one that is equally respected back home, is Professor Kuvondo Prosper. You will not imagine that our candidate is not a seasoned politician, but he was chosen by a political party to host for this particular October poems. That is why we must learn to accept the simplicity and humility of a professor like Kuvondo, whom many might have not known, and you should know too, if you are not aware. Is one of the football mentors of the country. He works directly with the Cameroun Football Federation. So the successes behind the legendary Samuel Eto'o are caught behind our champion, assistant, and the party leader of Univer, Kuvondo. Please clap for him. I would not like to maybe insist, but you will get to discover him as we live on together. Many were asking at the first side, why at the diaspora? Some people said there's much work to be done at home rather than coming to the diaspora, and again at the United States of America. This country hosts one of the highest number of Cameroonian diaspora, and we should not ignore it. Secondly, the width of the diaspora. We might not be as many might be thinking Nigerian, Kenyans in countries like the United States. But I said, coming to the diaspora will add value. The Israelites, I was talking to people here, if they are what they are, it is not of the Israel that you see. The strength of the nation Israel comes from its diaspora. Every government that stands in conflict with its diaspora, it simply means the government is not ready to grow. The present stalemate of 43 years is the complete and continuous conflict between the Cameroonian government and our diaspora. And that person, he is not only a leader, we call him the unifier, Atoni AKERE. Please clap for him. He is not just talking. In one of his pillars for development, Atoni AKERE put the diaspora at the forefront of investment. There is nobody talking about that. Some might have copied after his program was published, but many never had that in their agenda. You will hear them talking, it is after the publication of his manifesto. Now, not going that, the highest issue that has killed Cameroon to the bones, when Mr. Peter spoke here, some people might be thinking, corruption is more than a demon. I would think fighting corruption will need serious atomic and nuclear weapons to downplay corruption in Cameroon. Because the comedian just made a statement here of what happened with police officers. When you have to move from Douala to Tico to Limbe to Boya, you are going to be checked as if you are coming from a foreign land. You have to stop at police checkpoint at every place. Since I entered the United States, the lone place I was checked is at the airport. I've not seen somebody that had stopped me to ask me, why are you here? But in my country, we behave like foreigners. It's like Cameroonians have stolen to be in that country. But at the same time, while you are being checked, there are some people who just need to greet in their dialect, Amela, or good morning in the dialect, and they just pass quietly. Nobody checks them. You start asking, is this a nation? Batonier is known as the champion for corruption. Thanks to his presence, Cameroonians are understanding what is called Glencoe. Nobody knows about Glencoe. No candidate is telling you about Glencoe, except with our candidate, Batonier AKERE. Presently, we are talking about the Mobiki family and their influence in hydrocarbons. Nobody is telling you that story. And Cameroonians consider like there is nothing. There is just one thing they talk about, the Mudiki, and talking it without fear. It's Bâtonnier AKERE Mona. We need to know it. I believe 2 months ago we said an opinion about why the government is failing to construct the destroyed Sonara refinery in India. We stood quietly behind the office. And when I presented myself on one TV, and I said, this is what Cameroonians don't know. It means that the destruction of the Sonara Limber plan or refinery was a government plan agenda because we were doubting who did that. But this week, we were shocked that a second refinery has been launched for freebie. Can we imagine that? When you meet people who are at the heart of information, you are stronger. Information is power. So when the Prime Minister lied last month that those who are misguided by information are lying, and when they show the foundation tone for the creepy refinery, who is the liar? That is the government where we clap. A government that lies, a government that tortures, a government that reduces its own people to beggars within the nation. One pillars of Bâtonnier is that we need stronger institutions than strong men. 100 days. Some Cameroonians have said, how can we evaluate Bâtonnier AKERE Mona for 100 days? If it is happening in other places, why can't Cameroonians do it? I came here as we were driving my brother. I kept on admiring the road nature in Cameroon. And I asked some people, what does it take to construct a bridge? Bridge seems standing. It's made of concrete. That bridge is made of rock. That bridge is made of cement. None of those products do we lack in Cameroon. How can you get to your home and sit down in the middle of the veranda? Does it make us? Yes, we can get into alternative research. Bâtonnier under education was providing great mention of STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Let research have impact in the economy, and the teachers have better treatment. We behave as if Cameroon is a poor nation. But when I came to the United States, I just asked, what are they producing? The system of construction in the United States is what amuses me. That we are looking to import doors of wood that were taken from Africa and then sent back for you to buy a cable at 1 million, 1.5, a door at 800,000. Because that door, the firewood left Africa, came to Europe and America, then they imported it back when we have the wood. I went in the apartment where we were and I went round and I asked, what is made of this building that Cameroon doesn't have? Why should our people suffer? Why should we cry? People said I made a story about age. My agenda in politics is not about the age of the President of the Republic. A simple issue is, for 43 years you have not answered. What time do you need to answer again? So give way for another. Change is a single word. Many doesn't know the impact. Cameroonians need change. And the change of leadership of that country will change the mindset of even many Cameroonians. Some are singing and crying. I spoke here. I said imprisonment does not only mean that you are kept in prison. It's spiritual imprisonment. Cameroonians' brains are tied up. If you go at the level of the presidency, even to those who are beggars in Cameroon, the students, some people say they are the youths, contributed 40 million. Look at the people who were handling the 40 million and tell me whether they were youths. That is manipulation of mindset. We need to change a government where lies telling is a crime. A government where manipulation and promises and slogans are being used to treat the mindset of the people. Our number one champion, a natural candidate, greater realization, future occasion. They went to Limbe, Boye, let me say last month, and told them there will be a 5,000 capacity stadium in Kumba because elections are on their way. Last year, they promised an airport in Tico and a deep sea port in Limbe. We had asked them, where are these projects? Where are we from the promises? I, together with the spirit of good governance and activism, together with Bâtonnier AKERE Mona, are not just telling Cameroonians that we are coming from a mandate, we are coming from a transition. Let's teach Cameroonians that it's possible that after delivering for 5 years, you can leave power. Cameroonians are still to see the day of a democratically elected leader. In 1982, power was handed. In 1961, it was a gentleman agreement in Fumba. When are we going to elect a leader? The time is now. And the hope of Cameroonians is now. If we stop doing what we are doing, just by encouraging our brothers and sisters, like Mr. Peter said, some say they are not concerned. When are my children coming to Cameroon? I look at their faces and I look deep in their mind, they are all liars. No matter how far you stay outside, you remain a stranger. That our home that we believe are our villages. Even when I'm in Douala, that's not my village. When I go to Manfa, I enter my village, my 1 minute is bigger than me being in Douala for 10 years. When I stay for 4 days, I'm coming back. I take the natural goodies from the village. Just a coconut fruit gives you as if you were born in the United States. We need to build that nation, and we don't need to abandon it. For a child that runs away from the battle is to fight another day. The time is now, and the hope of Cameroonians is for those of us who are seated here. We have an option to make. Let's challenge it. Let's take it that our generation suffered and that the generation will bury. But the life of our children will be better off. I'm pleading on all those who are here. Take your time, talk to your brothers. Some are not here not because they were not supposed to be here, but they said nothing will change. Some are in their churches praying. God does not act through trees. It is the action of human beings that change a nation. Let your action speak for Cameroon, and let Cameroon have the opportunity now. For the present generation, for the future, still very thick. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ako. While waiting for the next dance group that will perform, the booklet, it will be coming out soon. Please take a look at the booklet. You can see here the 8 pillars of the campaign. And as the evening proceeds, we're going to also introduce VIP members from Cameroon of the Parti Univers, who will be coming up in a few. Our next dance group, as you can see, these guys, they need quite some space. Are they ready? Okay.
The next dance group is going to really display. So if you can just move back a bit, please. Yeah, this one is really to... Please, just move your chair. No, you guys can see it. I don't like the way you guys are sitting. Come on now. The next one is here. Come on, guys. All right? You can move back a bit. Thank you. Hey, Steve.
AJ. Oh, lientie lemtie bai. Oh, mololo mo kosu yo. We say you na ba sa ka bang le to me nyuma ba ke ba che lo le bu wange oh le li ra wen tum se ba tum zanga shi oh
Suika yani suika you wo konki ba go ko pa ga me wo go ko tu you be konki go ko pa ga me ya so o eli ga we tu ga ba tu ga shi o suika yani suika you na ku we ba ga nyam na ko me bu bu na ga sa me chan ko ne la ga ru ndi wa be chu wa nda wi yo swimming by yoga mali ben by me na ba ke jim le kan kana ngu su jima na jang ni lo wa ye wan go su forcing wan go lon tum ko tum mo me by yoga ba she ngo ye she nyam dar se lon tum ko zonga kun tum ten o tang da nda ku o song gang o ge tang dang gang man chu lon dai ku aso
The word province. Yes, because that's precisely what it is. In the 1996, what do they call that thing? Constitution. They claimed that they were going to have a gubernatorial elections. Then turned around 17 years later and changed province to regions. I mean, anyway. So if you're a registered political party, then you ought to have participated in some form of their consultative elections in the past and not necessarily boycotted it. So today, ladies and gentlemen, you see, when all of us were growing up back home, we had role models. Our parents were honest people. They went, they studied, they worked hard, they went to school, you know, they worked farms, sold cocoyams. Professor Bernard Fonlon told me how they would walk to Nigeria, make these bags that, they made those bags with, what do you call that thing again? Yeah, with raffia or some kind of grass. When they made those bags, they walked from Banso to Nigeria. The Nigerian side went and harvested kola nut, put inside those bags, walked across all the way and came and sold them. So you had, you had these are role models. But today, ever since 1982, as some previous speakers have said here, the type of role models we have in Cameroon, quite frankly, are a far cry from what we had in the 70s and 80s. You have, I don't know, you're a role model when you marry a rich man. You're a role model when you have Mont Blanc, just like that. That's what we see in Cameroon today. So you have one of those rare, honest people, Professor Prosper Nku Mvondo of the Univer Party. He came in today. You can tell Prof is very tired, still jet lagged. He doesn't know whether he's across Australia or he's really landed properly here. He has his with him, ladies and gentlemen, his vice chair, Mr. Balege. I'm sorry? Oh, UPC. You see? You see? I'm sorry. Mr. Balege is UPC, Secretary General. UPC Umnyobe. Tendance Umnyobe. Those are the real independent people who were in the Tumaza. Yeah, for those who know about the UPC history, UPC has been boycotting elections in East Cameroon since Assemblée Régionale du Cameroun, or ATCAM, since 1947. Since 1947. When they were getting ready to take out André-Marie Bida, Jean-Paul Ramadier, and Pierre Mesmer, they had to look for a malleable person. Aruna Joya of Fumban refused. Who was the other one who refused? Then the Buba of Ray Buba recommended the man with the Malian father, Amadou Ahijo. So they went and got Amadou Ahijo, kicked out Andre Marimbida. The rest is history. You see, these are some little things people don't know. Anyway, if any of you doesn't know who Prosper Kumvondo is, he's a university don. I think it's Ngaundere. He is a university don. One of those honest people that we grew up with. People of the Andre Fuda caliber. Honest people. That the people of today, they don't want to see them. They don't want to see them. So these are people of a rare caliber in the current setup that we have. Professor Kumvodo has been gracious enough to have had serious discussions long time ago for his Univer party to be that party for our candidate, presidential candidate AKERE Muna. Ladies and gentlemen, together with Mr. Balege of UPC, the real independence movement of Cameroon, and not this Louis Paul Ojula people we have today, continuation of Amadou Ahijo. Please put your hands together for Professor Prosper Kumvondo and Mr. Balege of UPC. You can see the type of alliance that we already have going on here. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. I'm Mr. Nku Mvondo Prosper, the leader of Universe Party, the party that endorses the candidature of the next president of Cameroon, Barrister AKERE Muna. When Barrister AKERE Muna will be the president of Cameroon, he will be the president of all Cameroonians from north, south, east, and west. He will be the president of all tribes from Cameroon. President for people speaking English and president for people speaking French. I will be in front of you for all those things I will say, but at the same time, as the voice of people who speak French. That is why I will continue my speech in French. Pour dire que le bâtonnier AKERE est porté à la candidature, notre futur, prochain président, le mot futur n'est pas indiqué ici, c'est le prochain président, par une coalition de plusieurs partis politiques et organisations de la société civile, sans compter les diverses personnalités qui nous accompagnent dans ce projet. Et on l'a annoncé tout à l'heure, nous représentons dans cette salle venue du Cameroun 2 partis politiques qui font partie de cette coalition. Le Parti Univers, dont je suis le leader, et le leader du tout premier parti politique au Cameroun, j'ai nommé l'Union des populations du Cameroun, le docteur Baliguet Code, à qui je passe le micro.
Thank you. In 1946, 10 young people sat together and asked 2 questions. Why the United Nations can divide one country in 2? And the second question is that, when will we be independent? Yeah. Is it correct now? All right. I was saying that in 1946, 10 young Cameroonians sat together and asked 2 questions. The first question is, why United Nations has divided one country in 2? And the second question is, when will we get to the independence? Then in 1948, they created a party named Union des Populations du Cameroun, with the 2 objectives: to unite the country and seek for independence. And they came here in the United States to meet the United Nations in New York and say in French, réunification immédiate et indépendance du Cameroun. First, unification; second, independence. Then the party was created in 1948, the 10th April. I was born 69 years ago, and I was born in the concentration camp. The French people were taking us 30 kilometers and was creating the group what we were calling camp de concentration. Now, if you want to do serious thing in Cameroon, you have to have the benediction of Union des Populations du Cameroun. That's why my duty is to put together the opposition of Cameroon in one coalition to have what we call candidat consensuel. It's not a unique candidate, but a candidate of a consensus. This is the duty of the oldest party of Cameroon. And the other party, together with Univers and other society association, our candidate is Maître AKERE Tande Mouna. He has the blessing of the oldest party of Cameroon, and he will pass this election. And if you know the determination of the militants of UPC, you will believe that Mouna is real, the next president of Cameroon. How in one country somebody will pass election 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and he wants again to pass 8 times? Is it election? It's not election. Election, one man is passing all the election. Mais il devait dire tout simplement que, bon, j'ai la majorité au Parlement, 92%, le mandat c'est 50 ans. Et on s'asseyait. Yes, he should have put a mandate of 50 years. And this is okay for all of us. But why are you going to election if the same man is passing election all the time? This time, he will not pass this election. Il ne va plus passer les élections au Cameroun. Et nous sommes venus vous voir pour ça. Parce qu'il y a une fébrilité d'esprit. Les gens disent que, oh, il a les militaires, il a l'argent, il a tout. Donc, c'est ce qu'on vous dit ici. Mais personne n'est prêt à voter ce monsieur. Quelqu'un a dit que c'est 93 ans, ce n'est pas son problème. Mais 93 ans, c'est un problème. Il ne peut plus continuer à commander le Cameroun. Beaucoup de gens me posent la question aussi, est-ce que vous allez faire comment? S'il vous plaît, ne posez plus cette question. Je suis venu vous voir. Prêtez la main forte, financièrement, en prière et partout à Maître AKERE Mouna pour qu'on passe les élections. Au Cameroun, il y a un problème. Si quelqu'un vous dit que envoyez-moi 2000 francs, ne vous amusez plus. Tous ces derniers temps, quelqu'un ne vous demande même pas 10. Il vous dit que donnez-moi 2000 francs, ne vous amusez plus. Parce que chaque 2 mois, les choses changent au Cameroun. Et the Cameroon is going down and down every 2 months. So, nous sommes venus de faire votre effort, tenir, sacrifice que vous pouvez. Nous allons faire notre devoir, l'union des populations et avec les autres partis pour que nous nous débarrassions de celui qui nous piétine depuis 43 ans. Pour cela, avant de passer la parole encore à Professeur Nkumvondo, voilà notre stratégie. Nous aurons des candidats après le conseil électoral. Et nous allons faire une liste. Et cette liste, c'est les gens qui vont gérer le Cameroun. Et la tête de liste, c'est Maître AKERE Mouna. Ce n'est qu'avec cette manière de penser que les gens vont rejoindre la coalition. Et nous avons notre coalition, c'est UPR, l'Union pour la reconstruction. Nous allons prendre le groupe de Douala, nous allons prendre l'autre coalition, nous avons maintenant 4 coalitions. On va faire ensemble pour qu'on ait un candidat consensuel. Et c'est notre travail et c'est ce que vous attendez, c'est que le peuple attend. Mais ne vous découragez pas s'il y a des Camerounais qui vont refuser le consensus. C'est de l'ordre naturel des choses, mais soutenez le consensus qui aura pour candidat Maître AKERE. C'est ma mission pour aller vendre ce monsieur qui, au Cameroun, représente la lutte contre la corruption, parce que quand quelqu'un lutte contre la corruption, il ne peut pas voler l'argent du Cameroun. Et c'est notre travail de commencer à venir ici aux États-Unis, de vous dire que ce n'est pas le nombre qui est important. Allez dire au reste. Dites au reste, vous qui êtes là, que le Cameroun a besoin de la diaspora pour changer. Je vous remercie.
Je reprends la parole pour faire un peu l'historique de cette affaire. Le Parti du Vert, dont je suis le leader, avait déjà un candidat en 2018. Celui-là, il s'en est allé. Et le Parti du Vert avait pensé qu'il ne fallait plus tenter l'aventure en 2025. Jusqu'au jour où le docteur Balaguer Cole, président de secrétaire général de l'UPC, leader de l'UPC, est venu avec d'autres nous rencontrer en Gaoundéré et nous avons réfléchi pendant 2 jours. Non seulement ceux qui sont venus en Gaoundéré nous ont convaincus de la nécessité de ne pas baisser les bras et d'aller à l'élection présidentielle, mais aussi au cours de nos discussions, nous avons débattu de qui pouvait porter le projet dont je vais vous parler tout à l'heure. Nous nous sommes accordés sur le fait que ça doit être quelqu'un qui n'est pas très trempé dans les activités politiques, quelqu'un qui apparaît comme neutre, quelqu'un qui a quelque chose que les autres n'ont pas, la probité sur le plan moral. Et après des discussions, nous nous sommes accordés sur le fait que celui-là devait être le bâtonnier Akere Mouna. Et nous sommes descendus à Yaoundé, nous avons rencontré le bâtonnier Akere Mouna, un peu comme Dieu avait envoyé l'Esprit Saint, où l'ange Gabriel s'adressait à Marie pour lui dire, c'est toi qui porteras l'enfant Jésus qui viendra sauver le monde. Nous sommes allés voir le bâtonnier Akere Mouna et on lui a dit, nous avons pensé un projet et c'est toi qui seras le porteur de ce projet. Heureusement pour nous, heureusement pour le Cameroun, heureusement pour nous tous ici, le bâtonnier a accepté de porter le projet. Le projet en question, c'est celui de la refondation et de la reconstruction du Cameroun. Nous avons observé que le Cameroun a été fait depuis longtemps sans les Camerounais eux-mêmes. Le nom Cameroun que nous portons nous a été donné par les Portugais sans demander que c'était Rio dos Camaroes, ce qui est devenu Camaroes, Cameroun et Cameroun, tantôt avec U, tantôt avec 2 O. En français, c'est différent de... Tout à l'heure, on a parlé de l'hymne national. On ne sait même pas, on était embarrassé. De quel hymne national s'agit-il? Mais il faut bien qu'on le sache. L'hymne national du Cameroun, dans sa version française, est un chant, même pas de ralliement, mais de soumission. On avait demandé aux élèves de chanter à la gloire de l'administrateur colonial. Et c'est cet hymne qui est devenu l'hymne national du Cameroun. Nous parlons le français et l'anglais au Cameroun, alors que nous n'avons jamais vraiment demandé à parler ces deux langues. Nous avons pensé donc qu'il était grand temps que nous revoyions nos institutions, que nous appelions les Camerounais sur une table pour que ceux-ci puissent dire ce qu'ils entendent faire de leur pays. Quelles sont les institutions qui sont le mieux appropriées pour notre pays en partant de notre propre volonté? Il faut donc les repenser pour que ceux-ci soient en harmonie avec notre pensée profonde, avec nos cultures. C'est ce que nous appelons la refondation. Mais lorsqu'on aura refondé, il va falloir reconstruire. Et cette reconstruction, il faut le dire, prend beaucoup de temps. On ne construit pas un pays en 5 ans. On le construit en 10 ans, en 15 ans, en 20 ans, en 30 ans. La mission du bâtonnier AKERE, nous sommes mis d'accord là-dessus, c'est remettre les bonnes institutions en place et commencer la reconstruction du Cameroun pour une période de 5 ans et il va s'en aller. Les Camerounais que vous êtes viendront eux-mêmes construire leur pays. Parce qu'il ne s'agit pas de changer une dictature par une autre. C'est ce que nous appelons la phase de transition. Et sa transition à lui va durer 5 ans, un mandat de 5 ans non renouvelable. Parce que nous en avons véritablement besoin au-delà des joutes politiques, au-delà des batailles pour la conquête simple du pouvoir. Mais pendant les 5 ans que sa mission de refondation et de début de la reconstruction du camp, il viendra vous-même, ici et ailleurs, vous présenter les 8 piliers qui seront les grands axes de sa politique pendant les 5 ans de son mandat. Parce que le Cameroun va continuer à fonctionner pendant la transition. Le soleil va continuer à se lever tous les matins à l'est et va continuer à se coucher tous les soirs à l'ouest. Nous allons continuer à manger, nous allons continuer à vivre, mais pendant ce temps, il y aura un nettoyage, un toilettage qui sera fait à travers les 8 piliers qu'il va vous présenter lui-même sûrement. Il va continuer donc à manager le Cameroun pendant que les Camerounais eux-mêmes seront invités à reconstruire le pays à travers de nouvelles institutions. Nous nous sommes mis d'accord là-dessus. Mais il met sûrement un point d'honneur sur quelque chose qu'il connaît déjà, la lutte contre la corruption. Parce que pour refonder, pour reconstruire, il faut bien d'abord nettoyer. Il va falloir nettoyer le Cameroun au propre comme au figuré. On va balayer les routes pendant qu'on pense la refondation et la reconstruction. On va nettoyer les corrupteurs et les corrompus à travers les techniques que lui seul a sûrement le secret. Pendant ce temps, on est en train de repenser la refondation, en train de repenser la reconstruction. Je n'en dirai donc pas plus, lui-même il est là pour venir vous expliquer tout cela. Mais il faut que nous comprenions que pour qu'on en arrive là, il faut bien aller à la conquête du pouvoir. Si on n'arrive pas à la présidence de la République en octobre, tout cela sera vain. C'est pour cela que nous devons nous battre pour arriver au pouvoir. Et le docteur Balaguer Code a essayé de lancer quelques appels tout à l'heure. Chacun doit jouer sa partition dans cette affaire. Ceux de la diaspora que vous êtes appelés à jouer votre partition dans cette affaire parce que le Cameroun, il est ce pays qui nous appartient tous. Nous, au Cameroun, nous allons rentrer, nous allons être au charbon pour aller à la conquête de ce pouvoir. Nous allons sillonner le Cameroun. Nous allons parler aux Camerounais du terroir. Nous allons leur dire qu'il est grand temps que les choses changent. D'ailleurs, c'est le discours que tout le monde tient en ce moment au Cameroun. Que ceux qui sont au pouvoir depuis des lustres ne nous fasse pas peur. Nous sommes convaincus qu'ils ne seront plus là au mois d'octobre. C'est pour ça qu'on parle aujourd'hui de coalition. Autour de AKERE Mouna, nous avons commencé notre coalition. En ce moment, des candidatures émergent de part et d'autre. Et il y en aura encore jusqu'à lundi. Mais il y a des vrais, il y a aussi des candidatures moins vraies. Toujours est-il dit qu'à un moment donné, nous aurons la liste des véritables candidats et nous allons continuer à discuter pour que le vœu qui est cher aux Camerounais, qui veut le changement, le vœu de la coalition autour, pourquoi pas d'une seule candidature pour renverser la dictature qui nous dérange tant depuis de nombreuses années au Cameroun, puisse céder la place pour que les Camerounais puissent repenser leur pays. Donc nous allons continuer les démarches sur le plan politique avec ceux qui seront admis comme candidats, cet effet-là. Mais nous allons continuer à aller rencontrer les Camerounais. On entend dire que ceux qui sont au pouvoir contrôlent l'ensemble du pays. Si c'était vrai hier, cela ne l'est plus aujourd'hui, parce qu'il y a un mécontentement général et la coalition que nous formons déjà, elle aussi, un peu partout au Cameroun. Voyons-nous, le parti Univers est installé en Gaoundéré, donc dans la partie septentrionale du Cameroun. C'est là-bas que le parti Univers est installé. Il y a son fief. Mais il faut aussi savoir que le leader du parti Univers que je suis est originaire du sud Cameroun. On peut donc faire des entrées de ce côté-là. Le candidat lui-même, il est originaire de quelque part au Cameroun. Celui qui est à Marche a un fief quelque part. Et il faut qu'on vous le dise, nos tentacules sont en ce moment, je parle de la coalition, à l'extrême nord, au nord, dans la Damawa, à l'est, au centre, à l'est, au littoral, au nord-ouest et au sud-ouest. C'est pour dire qu'on n'a pas de quoi avoir peur pour cette élection. J'ai envie de dire que si nous poussons vraiment les choses comme nous vous le demandons, nous aurons les choses en main. Et nous allons vaincre la dictature qui nous dérange depuis plus de 60 ans. Une fois de plus, nous en appelons à votre courage. Nous en appelons à votre volonté. Nous en appelons à votre soutien derrière la candidature de Maître AKERE, le prochain président. En langue, on a l'habitude de dire que si jusqu'à ce niveau-là, toujours devant vous, je ne le pense pas. C'est pour ça que je vais passer la parole pour le mot de la fin au leader de l'Union des populations du Cameroun, ce parti qui avait déjà pensé ce à quoi nous pensons aujourd'hui, refaire le Cameroun à partir de la volonté des Camerounais eux-mêmes. Merci de m'avoir écouté.
Juste deux phrases pour dire qu'on ne se perd pas sur une route droite. Quand une route est droite, on ne se perd pas. Et tous les Camerounais savent ça. Je voudrais, ceux qui sont anglophones, leur dire que la politique n'est pas une équation compliquée. Les gens au pays, francophones comme anglophones, ils ont dit de manière simple qu'on essaye avec un président que ce soit, ils l'ont dit. Il n'y a pas à aller tergiverser comme ça. Il n'y a pas la philosophie en politique. Parce que au Cameroun, dans les écoles maintenant, anglophones sont pleines de francophones. Et il n'y a pas d'anglophones dans les écoles francophones. Parce que votre pays qu'on a détruit, votre zone qu'on a détruite, était une zone qui était spectaculaire, une bonne zone. Vos écoles fonctionnaient très bien. Vos hôpitaux fonctionnaient très bien. Les gens qui étaient déjà dans la partie francophone pour aller à Sichon. Donc, faites tout. Ceux qui sont anglophones, ne nous décevez pas. Appelez les gens qui sont au village. Dites-leur que nous devons voter Maître AKERE Mouna. Je vous remercie.
L'Afrique vous parle.
Thank you. Thank you. My dear people,
Media to Africa.
as you can
L'Afrique
see,
vous parle.
Candidate AKERE Mouna is building a coalition, a serious coalition. Do not underestimate the power of a coalition. Do not underestimate this. You've heard from the previous speakers. Call your folks back home, please. We're building a coalition across Cameroon. Across Cameroon as we know it today. Because when you look for the German map of Cameroon, quite frankly, Cameroon, you know when a woman has triplets and then she gives birth naturally, her stomach goes down. That's how Cameroon went down. We no longer have Cameroon Meridional. Cameroon Meridional went to Nigeria, all the way to Ubangi-Chari, Central African Republic. All right, we'll welcome a superstar, but let Mabel introduce him. And I'm sure you'll be shaking in your seat somehow very soon.
Viva Bâtonnier AKERE Mouna. I always say this because I don't like when people are quiet. I'm a very active lady. Active on social media, active. First, they laugh at you, Bâtonnier AKERE Mouna. Then, they fight you, right? And then you win, October 12, 2025. You're going to be the next president of Cameroon. Yes, he will be the next president of Cameroon. I'm standing here tonight because one of my sons in the industry is here. I called him, I said, Witty, I need you. He said, Auntie, big sis, I'll be there. I am in Delaware, but I will catch an Uber and I will come and perform for Bâtonnier. Big sis, I will do anything for you. That's to tell you why they call me Adawano of Cameroon. Yes. Mama, talk and do. We proud of who we are. How many of you know Withy? Do you know him? He's right here. Come on, son. Yes, all the way from Delaware, he Uber himself to come and perform for Bâtonnier. We proud of who we are.
If you not see you be proud of your beginning, make it a shine your light. Follow me, oh, follow me, shine your light. Live a only one. Come in, party, follow who I the special place where I come from. We get the fire, we get the power, we get the
Thank you for coming to support our father. We are going to support him back home. So please let us stand up as one and make it happen. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Witty. Thank you. Witty will need help to gather his dollars. I'm trying to see whether Pastor Comedian is here to help him, but he's not here. Okay, the time has come. My dear brothers and sisters,
Echo. 1, 2.
Thank you. All right. Anytime, as Mr. Balege mentioned a few moments ago, every 2 months, when you see what is happening in Cameroon, things are changing rapidly and always going down. You will really wonder why these guys in power want a 93-year-old man to continue in power. Few days ago, the United Arab Emirates, through their official figures in their customs, registered that they imported 10.9 tons of gold from Cameroon. I see one of my friends here. We went to PNEU together. His wife is seated next to him, but he was not very good in math. So he doesn't know what 10.9 tons is. While the United Arab Emirates was registering 10.9 tons of gold, Cameroon, in their customs in Cameroon, in Douala, registered 4 kilograms. 4 kilograms. Well, let's just say that 10.9 tons is about 11 tons, and that's 11,000 kilograms. But Cameroon registered 4 kilograms. So the people who are exploiting gold lost revenue to the Cameroon tax system. We're told it's about 600 million or 600 billion CFA. The people who are exporting that gold in the Eastern Province, the name of the company is called Sonamin. Sonamin is owned by somebody referred to as Bonivang. Bonivang stands for Bonaventure Vondo Assam, the son of Pierre Meba, brother to Paul Biya Vondo B. Barthélemy, who is the president of Cameroon. That one just came out last week. Batonier has helped us widen our frames of discernment in the oil sector. Oil problems had started in Cameroon with Amadou Ahidjo and Nwali Penja. The Amadou Ahidjo I say na you papa oya. What's the guy again who died in 1994, who was interviewed on TV and he told the people that he discusses only oil. Jean Asumu was the DG of SNH, and he made it clear that he discusses oil matters only with the President of the Republic and God. After Jean Asumu passed away, he was replaced by Mr. Adolphe Mudiki. Mr. Adolphe Mudiki has been DG of SNH. In fact, I cannot keep track, but it's more than 30 years. Okay. Mr. Adolphe Mudiki, just like his friend who lives in the house that Amadou Ahidjo built, we call it Unity Palace, married a very young wife. Her name is Ngamba Natli. Her father was in charge of the 1972 stadium in Omispo and the organization of the African Nations Cup. And Amadou Ahidjo imprisoned him after that event. Nathalie Ngamba is married to Adolphe Mudiki after the passing of his first wife. I don't know whether to call this grand larceny, theft at a level. As a matter of fact, there's this other one in Angola. She was the richest person in Angola. The president's daughter, the former president's daughter. You know, Angolans, they speak Portuguese. She owned banks and everything. So Nathalie is over there as Adolphe Mudiki's wife. He is sick, just like the other guy over there in A2D. And the two friends are conniving and managing the wealth of Cameroon. Has anyone here heard of Glencore? Okay, thank you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we want a nation. I mean, guys, have you ever seen somebody from Kuwait? Here. Have you seen somebody from the United Arab Emirates here? Or what's the other place? You've never seen these guys. Even Equatorial Guinea, Qatar. Believe it or not, our Gabon, even Cameroon, we have more natural resources than these guys. But since the 90s, there's been a mass exodus of us Cameroonians. Look at us, why are we here? We have a candidate who can bring us back to the promised land. Ladies and gentlemen, please, whatever you do, before you leave from here, get a copy of AKERE Muna Towards the New Republic, the Third Republic, ladies and gentlemen. AKERE Muna is a unifying candidate. You know, before France left, they had this neo-colonial independence. They gave you that independence, but Amadou Ahidjo was fearing that France would burn up Cameroon like they did in Sékou Touré's Guinea. Amadou Ahidjo signed the accords very fast. We do not have our sovereignty. Whether it was in Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, what have you, we do not have our sovereignty. We have a unifying candidate here, ladies and gentlemen. Please. AKERE Muna has an extensive resume. Mr. Clean, Transparency International, African Union, speaks English, French, fluent, family man, speaks Bameta. I mean, you name it. Look, people have been asking, oh, Paul Biya was 49 when he came onto power in 82. There is no comparison, none whatsoever, with Paul Biya's resume at 49 back then with the resume we have in front of us. It's, I mean, I want to go through it, but it's going to take long. Just get yourself a copy of this. My dear brothers and sisters, uncles, aunties, parents, please rise, put your hands together for the next president of the United Republic of Cameroon, presidential candidate AKERE Muna.
Wetin you want them from us, Mr. Suffer, come out for our country. This one not the job because some people not go ever chop this jangi. Come on, who be you? Who be you? Come on, who be you? Get me who be you? Come on, who be you? Try ballet, say who be you?
Good evening. Good evening. Now we're talking. Firstly, I have to really thank you for being here. Very, very. Thank you. I was coming and I saw the floods, and my phone was beeping. They said, "Don't go out, don't go out," and here we are. The thing about this meeting is the warmth that comes out of it. The people I know, faces I've seen, this family, and you couldn't do any better than this. I mean, I just discovered that a lawyer, younger brother of mine, I can say son, is an amazing prayer man. Thank you for that. It was also a great pleasure to see a childhood friend, Chloe, who is right there. Known her since I was like 11 years old. And many of you and the good old Reverend here. And it's really, really great to see all of you. And my brother there, always jealous his gray beard and his amazingly pretty wife. And I mean, I'll go on and on to name everybody, but I came with three great people, and I'm happy they have spoken. Four, I should say, or maybe even more. I don't know what Dr. Ako told you before, but he started something amazing, very amazing, what they call the AKERE Hope Movement. They're all over the place. He didn't tell you that. In the villages, in the work camps, they are all over the place. We are not doing crowds, we're doing contact. Know what's happening in the background of our country. Really amazing. Thanks to the work that Dr. Ako is doing with the civil society back home. And then Dr. Pierre Balaguer. He turned up at my home with 15 bombocks. These are the most noble people of the Bassa ethnic group. And they came to my house. And they said that, well, Balaguer has spoken to us about you. We have come here with one question. Est-ce que tu vas aller jusqu'au bout? That was the question there. This time, are you going to go all the way? I said, yes, I will do that. Then he bought his ticket, accompanied by the vice president of the party, and they flew to Ngaoundere, and they spoke to Professor Kumvodo. And then the three of them came back and asked me to be the candidate. It's a very humbling thing to sit down and people come and ask you to do that. You guys cannot understand the kind of seriousness, the suffering we have. I don't know whether Peter talked to you about that, you know. Peter's an amazing guy, head of the veterans, and he does all what he does. But the seriousness of the problems we are in. I'd written a long speech. I was going to have teleprompters and try to do a Barack Obama. But I thought it was better for us to have a conversation. I will just tell you the things we're doing, what we plan to do. And I'm really looking forward to an exchange. Let's discuss. Let's talk about our country. I mean, you know, Kenny in his own way spoke about our resources. But I'm telling you, man, we have a very, very country. For the past 25 years, I've worked in the sector of governance. And I've worked in every institution on the continent that deals with governance. For the past 12 years, I've worked in a team chaired by President Thabo Mbeki. It is called the High Level Panel on Illicit Financial Flows. And all we do is to compare the amount of money that leaves our country. So there's work to do. But you know, if you guys don't join us, I don't know what will happen. So you guys are here as messengers to carry this message far and wide. We have to put 30,000 scrutineers, in every station. You give every person there 10,000. You're looking at 300 million. Yes. So it's okay to clamor for change. But who's going to pay for it? You have to think about that. I look at the stare, the face of my brother René Lake, who is an amazing, journalist all over the world, especially Africa. He's from Senegal. In Cameroon, we pay people to go to political rallies. In Senegal, the people pay to go to political rallies because they think the change in their country is their business. It's not the business of those who lead. Yes, maybe, but the change in a country is the business of the people. So if you don't allow them, they must make sure they get the space for change. And I think Cameroon is at that point. We are at that point. It's pregnant. It's there for everybody to see. I've been there. We lived there. We went for Umeobe's birthday in Bodmakak. No. Ezek, it was Ezeka? No. Amakak, that's what we went to. The guys had a first hall locked. We couldn't go. A second hall locked. We couldn't go. So we went to the residence of the guy who represented us there in Makak. And my Bassa brothers, they're amazing. They like provocation. So in spite of the fact that the prefect sort of like half banned the manifestation, they forced us to get out of our cars at the motor park. And they were singing and dancing and looking at any kind of official and going to the house we're going to. Amazing. Why do I tell this story? It's because when we got to the place we're going for we had hardly sat down when the sous-prefect turned up with gendarmes and policemen and commissaire spécial and all manner of military people. And he said, vous n'allez pas parler ici. Vous n'allez pas parler ici. And of course, the Bassa folks were there, just wanted to fight. That's all they wanted to do. I had to tell them. His vice president was probably going to give the sous-prefect a punch. So, they said, don't parlez pas ici, and he stood up. Dr. Balaga, he's calm like that, he can be. He stood up and went to the prefect and said, je vais parler. And he stood up and started making his speech. Well, they tolerated him. And he said, maintenant, je vais laisser parler notre candidat, partenaire AKERE Mouna. And then at that point, the prefect said, Jesus, this is wild. And I started open my mouth. He said, vous n'allez pas parler ici. And he went to go to the policemen and the commissaire and whoever was there. He said, chef sécu, arrêtez-les. Body moved. Not the police, not the gendarmes, not the army. None of them moved. He screamed, none of them moved. As a matter of fact, after the meeting, we all had lunch together. Not him, we were the army guys. That something is changing. The police, they refuse to execute instructions from the chef as they call them. Something is happening. It is up to you and I to capture the moment. We must. We have a duty to. You know, there's this thing about age and stuff, you know. When I was in Lycée Bilingue de Boya, some eminent person came and made a speech and said that you guys are the future of tomorrow. Man, in August I'm going to be 73. I don't know where my future path. And those guys are still there, you know what I'm saying? And they told me, you are the country's future. But seriously, I thought, because of my travels and my work in governance, especially in Congo, I think that Congo rivals Cameroon in terms of this kind of corruption. The scale there is hors échelle. I went to Congo asked by the UN to advise on governance, and then I spoke to the president in one meeting. He says, "Oh, I want you to come and be my special advisor." I said, "Sir, talk to the UN. They pay me. I work for you." And that's what I did. I used to see him every week. After 4 months, I'll see him once a month. And then it was when they called me, just because the guy had managed, or they had managed to get him involved in all manner of stuff. Brothers, sisters, cousins, mining licenses and all that. And that is how a country gets destroyed. The real cancer in a country is corruption. I think in the case of Cameroon, it doesn't matter how you twist it. We have two main problems: corruption and the Anglophone crisis. So I'll talk about the two briefly. When we got together, we did a retirement in c'était à Matombe, on est allé à Matombe. All of us, we sat down and say, what do we have to do? We had 8 pillars we put down. I hope you can get those books because the pillars are in there. I don't have to go through them. But we said, but after 100 days, the citizens must see the impact. What has happened? Are we in a different country? And we chose sectors. And we thought that the amazing thing about the country is that the people decide in Yaoundé what should happen in my village in Gembo. The guys don't know where the village is. They don't know what's happening there. So we see there are 360 subdivisions. The first thing we will do is have small teams from that village, accompanied by experts, to draw up what are their priorities, what do they need, and that will be what will guide us in trying to get the development of these areas. In 360 districts, to do that. They are trying to build an airport in Ibolova, okay, a cargo airport. The main reason is what? They say, oh, well, every region has an airport, Ibolova doesn't have. I don't have a problem with that. But do you think if you ask the guy in Ibolova what he wants, he'll tell you, I want an airport? When he's 2.5 hours from Yaoundé, he can drive on a good road? Of course he will not tell you he wants an airport. It may be a hospital, maybe, I don't know, but definitely not an airport. The airport they build in Bertois and those hotels, what's happening to them? Oh, airport in Tico, you know. The only people who can be happy about Tico are cows because there's good grass there. So really, I don't know. So that's a plan d'urgence because it's a plan for every subdivision. The next thing is, you know, if you were 8 years old when Biya became president, today you are 50. You've gone to primary school, you've gone to secondary school, you've gotten to university, you're married, you have children, and under the old law, you're 5 years from retirement. That's your whole life. That's your whole life. And all what do you know? You get a concours, you have to bribe. You go past a policeman with their tires all worn out and your wipers don't working, you have to bribe. The shortest distance to any kind of thing you want to do is your wallet. And that's all you know. And this is the thing. Those of you in the diaspora, you know that the only way you get ahead is by hard work. If you don't work, you can't get ahead, except you're doing something else. If you're a lazy guy, this is not where you should be. So you guys have the work ethic. And in my mind, there is no way Cameroon can come out of where it is without the diaspora. I mean, I use diaspora very reluctantly because, have you ever heard about the German diaspora or the French diaspora? Or, diaspora seems to have something to do with the skin color, It's a Nigerian diaspora, Cameroon diaspora, but, I tend to say Cameroonians living abroad. That's what I tend to say. But anyway, I think it is impossible in the state of our country now to have any kind of development, injection of the expertise of Cameroonians living abroad. They have a different ethic, they have the expertise, they have this romantic image of their homes. They want to fix it. I met with the former lady president of Zambia, Mrs. Ban. She said, listen, Mr. Muna, if you want to be president of your country, you have to be in love with your people. But we have a president who hasn't had a Council of Ministers meeting in 14 years. 14 years. He's been to the African Union meetings 3 times in 43 years. He is the only president in the history of the African Union who did not go to hand over to another president. That was President Mugabe. I mean, you should travel. I travel. And when people talk, I heard Sassou Nguesso and another president talk about Biya laughing aloud when they heard I was Cameroonian. So it is just amazing that a country with so much resources, and then they come up with this thing about you can only be Cameroonian if you have another nationality. Then. That's why at the core of what we have to do, 2 minutes after I'm sworn in, we are having an executive order that says, once a Cameroonian, always a Cameroonian. I mean, it's not debatable. Multiple nationality is not debatable. How ridiculous can it be? On a Friday, they tell you that your cousin is dead, you want to go, and you have to go and look for a visa and look for a proof of where you will stay. And I mean, you're alone here in the States. The whole of your family is back home, and they're asking you letter of invitation. Jesus, come on. How? Don't make no sense. Well, Cameroon doesn't make sense anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, at the heart of what we're proposing is multinational, plurinational. You can have as many nationalities as you want. The time you stop being a Cameroonian is you go to court and say that country is a whole country, and I wouldn't. So I renounce today. That is yours, but you can always come back. So plurinational is at the core. Do you know in 2023, 430 billion CFA came to Cameroon in remittances. 430 billion. That's official. It's not the kind that you guys do, and frown and go through the customs looking very serious. I would have about $20,000 or 30 in your attaché case. I don't count that. I'm counting regular remittances. If you put the money that people just carry and go home, and you say, guy who you know to be sleepy, he has his jacket, that and he tells the policeman to get him out of the plane and stuff like that. If you put that in, we are hitting 1,000 billion. So what can I say? So the secret to jumpstart our country is out here. the skills. The statistics show that I read somewhere that in the DMV area, there's 150,000 Cameroonians. Around 150. If each person in the DMV area, every person decides to give $100 to fix our country, to make sure the coalition we are putting together has the resources to campaign, can you imagine how much money? Can you imagine? So, if there's anything you can do, Cameroonians like criticizing. You know that. Oh, this guy is this. Yeah, I know. If your name is a Muna, then you know what it is to be criticized for things that you don't even know about. So, I lived, at the age of 10, I was poisoned when my father was campaigning for unification. Today I'm 73, I was caught. Someone to the gendarmerie charge office, and the colonel looked at me and said, vous êtes sécessionniste ou vous êtes fédéraliste? Look at the guys, look at this francophone colonel. The Anglophones say that my father sold the Anglophones. The Francophones say that me, I'm a secessionist. So, so what the hell am I going to do? No, but seriously, I think that the amazing thing, which I think my brother Pierre tried to say, is that the way in which people are now saying, maybe after 61 years, we should try the other side of the coin. And maybe because they think that Anglophones are actually chop fire, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they should go before, because Frundi went first to break through the multi-party. I know my brother Bernard with the bar and Yonder Black and stuff like that. GCE board, that's if you go through the litany of those who, kick the hornet's nest, then maybe that's it. But but it's a genuine belief back home now that this time around, maybe it should be an Anglophone. I'm not running for president because I'm Anglophone. I'm a candidate who happens to be Anglophone. It's not the basis. I think another thing we're talking about in this 100 days, I've mentioned this program for the 360 places. I've mentioned the multinationality. There has to be an audit. I am anxious and in total trepidation. How much do we owe? How much money does Cameroon owe? Rene, I was hearing in your country, Senegal, that when the guys got that they owed more money than they were told. In Cameroon, opacity is a way of life. If somebody says he owes 10,000, no, it's somewhere around 1 million. So I'm really intrepid. What is it that we owe? We need to have a state audit. Kenneth, in his joking manner, spoke about, oh, well, Mudikits and that. But if you look at the prices, the way the oil is sold, and I must say I was shocked, because Dion is a very good friend. We went to school together. I was 1 year ahead of him. When he said that, they're going to build Sonara, it's a lie, as Dr. Ako said. In Kribi, they're just building security tanks for keeping oil and stuff like that, which is cheaper. Why don't you start investing that money by rebuilding Sonara? And what is killing our country, people don't realize, is the fact that the politics of the country has been linked to development. The policy of the country to subjugate anybody is to use the economic tool. I'll demonstrate by a few examples. Limbe Seaport. The arrangements for the Limbe seaport were handled by Fongina, who was of the Chantier Naval. But the arrangement was under what they call a key man project. Now, a key man project means that the project is built around a person who knows what would happen. And if you take away the key man from the project, people stop financing and the project sinks. So the deep sea port, it was a key man project with Fongindam in it. So when they took him out, all the financing got cut off. And that's how Santé Naval died. That is something that I had to bring in. We're going to, it would have just changed the face of Limbe. That's the CIMA. For 4 years, I worked with the African Development Bank as what they call a sanctions commissioner. I was looking at contracts in which there had been corruption. And if I found that there was corruption, then you were barred from loans from the World Bank, African Development Bank, European Bank, Asia, that kind of stuff. I did that for 4 years. The president of the bank then was Dr. Kaberuka. And he called me, he said, Akere, he was end of his term. He said, Akere, don't be annoyed. I have to ask you this. Do Cameroonians love their country? I said, President, why do you ask me that? He said, listen, I told your government 3 years ago that I have the money to put a railway line from Yaoundé to Kuseri. With a new gauge, new trains, all that to happen. The money is ready. And they were turning me and twisting me. Now I'm going. And I was curious. He went to Yaoundé and spoke. You know what they told him? He said, it's a delicate political matter. If we build a railway line from Yaoundé to Kuseri, Chadians and Northerners are going to flood the south. Can you imagine that? This is one country. Development, the villages and cities along the way. The exportations, everything that will go to Chad today is trying to circumvent Cameroon to go through somewhere to go to the port. I think Equatorial Guinea or something like that. Benin, there you go. Can you imagine? And we had right there. Yes, I was in a meeting at the American Embassy 4 or 5 years ago with a gentleman from the Department of Commerce who resigned. They were trying to persuade Cameroon to build the dam in Menchum. Because Nigeria was ready to buy the electricity. And like that, it was never built. For political reasons, it was important to make sure that the Northwest was at ease. So we have done Northwest, Menchum. We have done the Southwest with Sonora. Sonora is amazing because, firstly, to start with, Aejo was hoodwinked. When he wanted to build a refinery, the French said, no. You will take your oil to Gabon and refine it there. And he said, I used to know, I want my own refinery. I'm not going to Gabon. Total said, okay, thank you very much. And they built a refinery in Limbe. The only thing is that 97% of our oil production cannot be refined in that refinery. So we are forced to export our crude and import the crude from another country to refine. So even ahead of Mr. Metuku, who is now in jail, he was trying to readjust the refinery so he could refine Cameroonian oil. But he did wind up in jail. And so, miracle, nobody has told you, Sonara burned down. Was there an insurance? Or there was an insurance, but it wasn't subscribed for. Or nobody knows. How can you have a whole refinery burned down, but you don't know whether it was insured or not? And if we don't have a refinery, it's burned down. So today, guess what? We import refined oil and export our own crude. So the guys now are stealing from commission, coming in, and stealing from commission, going out. To tell you how ruthless these guys are, I'll give you two cases. Glencore has spoken about. I discovered in my investigation, which I did for 4 years at my own cost. This is to answer people who said that, I just disappear after elections and I appear. For 4 or 5 years, I was investigating Glencore by accident. I was in London and I read Financial Times, and it said that Glencore refuses to deliver some documents. So I started investigating. What did I find out? That in one cargo, Cameroun sold oil to Glencore at 35% below the world market rate. 35% below. And this is really amazing because, so I took a screenshot of all the sales so I could keep it. And then SNH came out with a communique for the first time. SNH had never, as Kenneth told you, they said that, as we said that it was just 3 people, himself, the president, and God. I think under Muduki was that God was no longer concerned, it was just Bia and himself. Anyway, this is really wild. I went to the website, and it was exactly as SNH just said. That, no, it wasn't 35%, it was 14%. Oh, yeah, 34. It wasn't 35%, it was 14%. There was another guy, another trader, who was buying our oil 70% below world prices. 70%. So these guys take the oil, they sell it, and in their minds, they keep 70% and the country takes 30%. And they share this money, 70%. The documents are there. When I found it, I did the screen capture. When I started talking about it, because Kenneth said something about the gold. These are the oil industry and the mineral industry in Cameroon, and the industry for wood. Really amazing. All the records abroad show we have sold more than we declare. But we're just stealing. The people there are just stealing in broad daylight. So when I went back to the website, after I made a whole press conference and showed the charts, the guys had actually changed the figures on the website. So where it was 35%, it was 14. Where it was 70%, it was 35. And I sent the documents to my nephew here, and they took it to some experts, and they were able to pull from the web the day they changed the figures and how they changed it. So I have that report. I made a bundle of documents which I sent to the president and handed over to the director of the civil cabinet myself. I said, this is what is happening. I tell the stories rather graphically to tell you that we are dealing with people who don't care about the country, who don't care what happens to your kith and kin. They don't care. And if you imagine for one moment that things can change, there's no way. This brings me to the point that Professor Kumvondo raised. We need a systemic change. You can't, the way Cameroon is now, you can't just come and be president and change it and you can run it better. We don't have it. It just can't happen. This is the system Aijo put into place. Aijo was a benevolent dictator, so maybe it worked. But now, we are just led by Ali Baba and the 40 thieves, as a Perlman said. It's amazing the kind of stories you have. And every single thing that happens to the country, they steal. COVID, they will steal. Can't get, they will steal. Even the audit bench of the Supreme Court has said people have stolen. Nothing is happening. Nobody says anything. In the fraud office in France now, or the Parquet Financier, there are about 2 or 3 cases pending to do with passports, bribery and corruption. In Marseille, so a French company called Bourbon was fined corruption. Why? Because Cameroon individuals were involved. In Bolloré's case, I'm part of a team in France trying to sue Bolloré because all the concessions that Bolloré got in Africa and Cameroon among were all after bribery. The premise of that, get a bit technical, is the fact that each time it is an African or somebody from the South, they will say bien mal acquis, so they seize it. But Bolloré, in his own case, bribed, got the concessions, and resold it at a premium and made a huge profit. So I'm in a team of lawyers, we are saying, no, well, listen, we South Africans, you say it's a bien mal acquis. Since this man has made a premium out of selling property obtained by corruption, we should also seize that. So this is what is being investigated. I mean, I think when you understand the stories, then you would know exactly that this time around, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. And if you guys don't join in this, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And of course, I spoke about the crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest. I don't know, maybe there was a noble basis for this conflict. But the fact is that what is happening in the Northwest, and to a lesser extent the Southwest now, it's just simple banditry. And it really surprises me, how you can be in Alabukam, which is not far from my village, and shoot your own brother and think you're solving something. It's like I'm drinking poison and hoping that you will die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. You cannot go and bury your loved one. You cannot do this because people will catch you on the way and take a ransom or they will kidnap you. I mean, I don't know how that solves anything. As a matter of fact, a minister in government sat in his office drinking palm wine and said, you know what? They can kill themselves there and I will stay here and drink my palm wine. And that was put on TV. That was put on TV. So we have to rethink. In the Anglophone crisis, I don't think that it's those who speak the loudest who bring a solution. The work I've done in that area, I can now talk about it because President Thabo Mbeki has spoken about it. We put together, through the Africa Forum, which is a meeting of African head of states, a plan to have 500 Cameroonians go to Kenya and stay there for a week and come out with a master plan. And President Kenyatta gave his okay, promised to finance it by $2 million. And we're having a meeting with the political chair of the chairperson of the commission of the African Union. It was a lady. And forum designated President Thabo Mbeki. Somebody was supposed to join the team as well, was Jerry Rawlings, but Jerry Rawlings just said that the candidate was going to plane and go to Yaoundé and Assisi. But it was a bit rash. But I remember last time I saw him was maybe in November before he died. He says AKERE in January, going there. He didn't want us to land there, but God thought otherwise, and the guy he departed. So An expression, an African expression that says that two people who are in dispute are two people who haven't discussed. Okay? There has been no genuine dialogue. None whatsoever. I was talking to the Swiss, they say, oh, and the government says, who do they speak to? I say, don't ask the question. You have a parliament. Have a single debate. Call people in the civil society. Mr. Muna, you're running your mouth. What is the problem? That's the beginning of a discussion. Senate, parliament, no discussion. None at all. In the meantime, money is being spent in fictitious weaponry, and cartridges are being sold. And sometimes you find out that the kind of bullets that the rebels use are the same that the army has. So we are in some kind of a critical conundrum. And I also think that it is crazy to feel that they shoot you on Monday, shoot me on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we shake hands. You need a third person. You need some kind of a third force that gets you people to reconcile. So that when so when I go to the area, I say, okay, please bring your guns. The person you're giving your gun to is not the person you shot yesterday. So there is no will. There is no will in that country to bring that crisis to an end. The whole Anglophone electorate has been demobilized. Okay, 700,000 displaced person. When they say abstention vote, there's an abstention. But the thing is that the guy was in CAMEROUN, Com, Bamenda, what have you, Misole or Tombel or whatever, who has moved away from there. He doesn't change his voting card for the voting station where he is. The result is that, of course, he doesn't vote anywhere. So it reads as if there's a huge abstention. It's just because we have been trying to push people to register where they are actually located. So that is the part about the Anglophone crisis. And they have come up with this thing they call living together, vivre ensemble. It's a hoax. To quote an eminent president, it's a hoax. Travel in Cameroon. We went, Pierre, what's that village we went next to the bridge, the Bamba Bridge, the village? Le village où on était là, c'est Misole. No. Misole. Misole. 6,000 inhabitants in Misole. 4,000 Anglophone. 4,000. They have established, they have land, some have married. Go to Bankomo, go to Sa, go to all those villages around there. You have many Anglophones living there, married. As a matter of fact, if you are going around Yaoundé, anybody from Fundong here, if you're in Yaoundé, ask any hawker who sells clothes in the street and towels and stuff. They are about 90% from Fundong. I was talking to one and, a lady came and said, Monsieur, vous êtes Anglo? Oui. Mais il y a un gars là, il s'appelle Jean. Il est venu rester avec moi. On a fait un enfant, il a fui. Anyway, so this lady now was trying to ask me if I could find John. Oh, John probably has many babies in all this. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm telling this, I was going through Bankomo and I was to pay the peage there, peage is another story, the toll gate. And a lady came and was speaking to me in Meta, and she's from Genbo, my village. And I said, what? She said, yes. I said, what are you doing here? I said, well, the village was bad. I've come here. They give me land. I'm now planting cassava. I'm making baton de manioc. And when Cameroonians from the Anglophone side flee, where do they go to? To the Francophone side. So this story, about vivre ensemble, it doesn't concern the common man. These guys are using it for political. It doesn't concern the common man. As a matter of fact, a Prosper, On a reçu, at our party headquarters, we receive about some 80 motorbikers. And Prosper told him that le problème, ce n'est pas vivre ensemble. Le problème, c'est manger ensemble. So really, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, we have a beautiful country. We have everything going for us. Are you kidding? The people of the East suffer. They are one of the richest parts of, with the rare minerals now in the East. Are you kidding? And the government is ingenious. They create something they call Sokamin. It's a new company. Guess where the headquarters is? In Yaoundé. Okay? Now, I don't see any mines in Yaoundé. Why don't you put it in the East where the people are? Why don't you just put it there? SNH, they want to put it in Yaoundé. Okay? And it's Sonara, it's in Limbe. Just to make sure people don't feel it belongs to them, the company is called Société Nationale de Raffinerie. I mean, if you called it a National Petroleum Company, it would still pump the oil, you know. Oh, no. But in Banjok, there's a factory that they created, Cameroun Sugar Company. I don't know how many Anglophones know where Banjok is, No, but really, seriously, I'm saying this to say that the people have a voice. That's what it means. You cannot guess what is good for the people. They must have a voice. They must have a voice. They must have a voice. When I'm president, you bring a project to me, the first question is, how does this benefit the people? If you can answer the question, you file and you take a walk. Because that's the only way. That's the only way. The people have been hoodwinked too long, really too long. And this is the time for Cameroon to rise again. Everything is ready. We are all ready. Dr. Balaguer is in charge of putting our coalition together. Out of modesty, my good friend, legal expert, Prosper, he didn't tell you the amazing thing he brings to the coalition. We are coming from a country which is divided. To have somebody like him, who is from the area where the president is, it comforts them. He's seen as the interface. He's seen as the bridge. And it gives them hope. And now they're saying they want to change. They're saying they want to change. So, folks, brothers and sisters, I would rather we engage in a quick conversation, We can ask some questions so we can exchange. I can answer you. So it might be better if I just sort of pause here. You can ask me any questions, any questions, I mean, I'll be ready to answer. Where's Kenneth? So, anybody wants to start off with a question? I knew he was going to start.
So, I mean, I wasn't very sure that I was going to ask a question.
So I think we are on questions and answers right now. Yes, please. Great. Thank you. Please be brief with your questions. Try to keep it under 2 to 3 minutes. Ask your question. Okay. Seconds. Please ask your questions directly. Okay, we can take maybe 3 questions together and then, please don't eulogize.
Well, I'm going to make a statement because I was already in the middle of it. So thank you very much for that expose. Recently, we had the opportunity to listen to Hameni, who was the director of campaign in 1992. And he made a very strong statement, which I believe every Anglophone should propagate, as well as Francophones. Because for the first time, he was very particular about the influence of France in Cameroon politics after the victory of Frony. The issue that he said, and that's my concern. My concern is because Cameroonians are saying they want an Anglophone. They want a Cameroonian from the other side, let's say English speaking Cameroonian. What are the guarantees that we have that we are going to convert that French influence? Because how many people said that the French ambassador in Cameroon told him that, are you guys crazy? How could you think that we would allow an Anglophone to be the president of Cameroon? You chose somebody that you brought to us. So what do you have that will guarantee us that the French will not do that again?
You know, I mean, your questions are really on point. I will start with the end of it. Why in 92 the French ambassador said what he said. I was one of those who drafted the statutes of SDF. I was the lawyer in charge of filing the suit for the fraud in the elections of 92. I was leaving Yaoundé to go to the village to see my father. And I got to the village around 9 p.m. And my father said, Akere, I said, no, when my father is happy with me, he calls me Tabeng, you know. He says, Tabeng, I said, Papa. He says, SDF looks like a very tough party. It looks like a party that may win these elections. He said, if you win the elections, how do you take power? I said, but what do you mean? If you won the elections, you won. He says, no, my son. If you win the elections, how do you take power? He says, okay, you're tired. At breakfast, let's discuss. As I went to his room, I got in my car and I shot to Bamenda, Club 58, where all these master politicians are, Sensei, Mondi, all of them were there. And Justice Wakai said, Akere, what are you doing? I said, I just came from Yaoundé. He said, I said, when do you listen? I came back. I said, you came back? I said, yeah. He said, what for? I said, Papa just asked me a question. He said, if you win the elections, how do you take power? He said, Masa, leave the old man. You win, you win. What's the problem? I said, you win. I went back home, went to sleep. 7 a.m., my father kicked my door. Ma, breakfast. Got up, went. I said, I hope this guy has forgotten. If I could just pour a cup of tea, say, okay, now, tell me, if you win the elections, how do you take power? I said, damn. I said, Papa, I think if you win, he said, no. And now, this part answer your question. He says that Frundi goes around advocating the boycott of French goods. Their own campaign at SDF, you install the gendarmes, install the prefets, tell people they will see, all that kind of stuff. You should make the people be comfortable. So when you take power, their life will be better. As if it was orchestrated. You know, he said, you have to change all the speeches. Frundi traveled to France. In a hotel room in France, picked up his phone. So all these poor people, they're foolish, they think they do man. Are they men they can't talk to me here? You guys are recording all that. Okay, so you know, that is that context. When we're doing the Africa Forum thing, I was talking to a close friend of mine, Thibaut Nash. Thibaut Nash told me the French were the first who said the path to solve the Anglophone crisis is to have an Anglophone president. In a meeting, three of them, Thibonage, the British Foreign Secretary, and the American. The French were vehement. That is why some of you saw me go to France. I spoke to François Hollande, I spoke to the Élysée, I spoke to the African advisor, I spoke to all those people. They have interests, okay? And if you don't talk to them, if you threaten them, let's win. It's another matter, you know? You are in a country where somebody was running on elections about investigation about some Epstein fellow. Now he's in the power, he's not talking about it again. So, you know, you have to know what you want. So if you want to start now by saying, oh, we are under the yoke of the French, they don't have to. Our problem is a Cameroonian problem. The French don't vote, we vote. They say, oh, there's fraud. Fraud doesn't happen when there is massive voting. I saw it in 92. I saw it in 92. Late Governor George Achu, who just passed, he was in Bertois, and the person who exfiltrated him from Bertois to Yaoundé when he planned to resign, leave the country, because he refused to change the votes. And we're going to see more of that this time. We should tell our people to go and vote. Forget about the French. They have their own worries now, from Ukraine to Macron and what have you. We have our own worries. Our own worries is that we have a president who does not love our country. Because if you love your country at 93, God forbid, how can you serve? I traveled with my father when he was 88, 89. I know what it is. If he goes to the bathroom and I'm at the bloody door, if he's taking a shower, I check on him every 2 minutes to make sure he's not falling asleep in the bath. And you tell me, a country like ours, 93, you can run it. No, the problem is not the French. The problem is us. It's us. It's us.
Thank you.
I mean, I listen to you a lot. And the great thing about what you speak is that you have the first part, which is pedagogic. You know, you always explain what's happening before posing the questions. And our people know it. I heard, ministers, professors stand on the microphone and say that the best bet for our country now is President Paul Biya, please.
No,
at 93. At 93. Yes, doctor.
I'm just trying to ask a question about this counting of vote in Cameroon. Now that because we call our people back home all the time to tell them, brief them about that a 93-year-old man cannot rule us because it's even when I go somewhere, they say, are you from Cameroon? They say, yes. How long has your president been? 43. They say, you don't have Cameroonians that have been to school or what, or they are not doing something. So how are we going to have to tell? Because they say the vote, they will count the vote in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we don't want that. How are we going to do to make sure that the vote is counted right there and the result, they call the result? Because they will say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we don't know that type of thing. So brief us on that so that we know what to do.
Firstly, we will do this year what I did in 92. I organized the publication and the tallying of the results. I'm the person who brought out the fraud, the difference in the votes. Unfortunately, in the interest of expediency, somebody went and told the guys of the SDF, the leadership, that it's the Munas again. You guys are winning. AKERE has filed a petition for fraud. It's because they want the elections to be cancelled, and they're going to cancel the elections because the Fundi is winning. They came to me and said, "Listen, man, elections is like football. If you're winning, and but for the fraud, you win, you don't have a problem. If you're winning and you lose because of the fraud, then there's a problem. So either way, you win. They said, no, it wasn't good enough. So they said, file a petition to withdraw your petition, which I did. They thought I wasn't honest, and they even added a letter saying that they never asked any lawyer to file a petition. Guess what? They didn't. On the judge, first line, he said, Buba Bello, 19%, couldn't have won. What he's complaining about wouldn't have changed the results. So, but the only case which is solid here is the case of SDF. But they withdrew their petition, so the hands of the courts are tied. And that's what happened in 1992. Because we always, and that is what really discouraged me from party politics. Francis Cook spent a whole week trying to convince Buba Bello to join Truly because it was a sure win. And an anecdote to that is because I was flying out to London with my old man, and President Oboa, Chairman Oboa of his party was flying in from Douala, and he stopped. He saw my father. He said, President. My father said, I have a question. He said, what? He said, myself, I'm a seasoned administrator. Damjoya is a seasoned administrator. Buba Bello is a seasoned administrator. We know this country. We are all bilingual. But how do you expect us to concede to a unilingual person? How can we do that? My father told him, you have to have priorities. The first priority is to get beer to go. So when you are giving in for Frundi, put it in your head that you are trying to get Paul Biya to go. And that's how Eboa is the only person who did not register for the elections in 92. But of course, Buba Bello did, and Damjoya did. And you know the results. So us now, we have already put together a database, and we have an application. And within 10 hours of the elections, we're going to have the results, and we'll publish it.
Thank you.
The only proviso is for us to ensure that we have our own people in all the voting booths. There are 30,000. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Barrister,
Uh-huh.
for coming here and for teaching us, the history of our country. Si vous le permettez, je vais parler en français.
En français.
Oui. Donc,
même en pidgin si vous voulez. Je suis calé là.
Non, je préfère aller en français.
Ok.
Donc, je suis parce que j'ai la ferme conviction que vous êtes probablement l'un des rares candidats au Cameroun pour l'élection à venir qui, de mon point de vue, a le profil.
Mais merci.
De mon point de vue, ils ne sont pas plus de 3, je crois, 2 ou 3. Et vous en faites partie. Il y a tout un débat autour des élections au Cameroun, de votre présence sur le terrain, de 2018 à maintenant. Et vous l'avez rappelé tout à l'heure. Bon nombre de personnes disent que Barrister Akere Mouna était là, il est parti, on ne l'a plus revu, et il revient maintenant. Vous avez donné une explication qui, de mon point de vue, est logique. Et on est venu vous prendre, c'est une situation particulière que le Cameroun est en train de vivre maintenant. Il faut sauver le pays, il faut une transition, il faut refondre les instituts, il faut remettre les institutions à plat et il faut des gens qui ont un profil relativement neutre. C'est vrai qu'on n'est pas en campagne, on ne vous voit pas beaucoup. On n'a pas cette impression que ça, c'est mon observation à distance. On n'a pas l'impression que vous êtes là. J'aimerais avoir une idée. Alors j'aimerais que vous nous rassurez qu'il y a un plan qui est bien outil pour que vous soyez plus présents sur le terrain. Parce que, et pouvoir combler cette question-là, être à qui n'est pas là et qui revient là des élections. Parce que c'est une question qui probablement peut motiver ou décourager
Les uns et les autres.
les uns et les autres. Le deuxième point que je voudrais...
Le troisième
point qui m'est assez cher, c'est... Je pense que le Cameroun, pour le moment, l'un des problèmes majeurs qu'on a au pays, c'est l'éducation des Camerounais sur tous les plans. J'ai l'impression qu'avec le temps, les choses vont de mal en pire. On a l'impression sur le plan moral, depuis l'école, rien ne va, rien ne va. La façon avec laquelle les gens raisonnent, l'éducation politique, l'éducation sociale et la corruption dont vous parlez, c'est l'éducation. Si vous pouviez, en un ou deux points, nous dire ce que vous pensez de ça, quel type de réforme vous pensez faire, vraiment, ce serait, pour moi, ce serait quelque chose d'enrichissant. Merci.
Merci, je vais commencer par le dernier parce que c'est le plus facile. Si vous regardez ce document qui a les 8 piliers, il y a un pilier qui porte uniquement sur l'éducation. Donc ça va répondre à votre question. Nous sommes tous d'accord que apprendre la philosophie des philosophes français n'avance un Camerounais à rien, n'est-ce pas? On a tout un programme en ce qui concerne l'éducation pour mettre en place un système éducatif qui va d'abord remettre les jeunes au travail. Au Cameroun, maintenant, on a environ 70% de sans-emploi qui sont des jeunes. Environ 70%. Pour les deux premières questions, je vais me citer mon père parce que lui, il avait une anecdote pour tout. Le fait que vous n'entendez pas la station radio ne veut pas dire que la radio ne joue pas. Parce que si vous n'entendez pas la station, peut-être il faut changer de fréquence. Voilà ce que je veux vous dire. Des années que je vous ai citées, à part du fait que j'étais perdu parce que j'ai perdu 2 frères en 1 an, des années que je vous ai citées, je passais plus de 4 à 5 ans dans les enquêtes parce que je me suis dit, tant qu'on n'a pas des dossiers graphiques qui fait comprendre aux Camerounais ce qui se passe, on n'ira nulle part. Et avant Glencore enquêtait ailleurs, on n'avait rien. Et c'est le seul dossier jusqu'à ce jour qui a branlé le gouvernement, qui l'a amené à menacer les Anglais pour le paiement des factures de leur société, pour que les Anglais renvoient le dossier qui est à Londres de 2024 à 2027. 3 ans de renvoi. Ça, mon frère, c'est un travail qui n'est pas facile. Pas seulement pas facile, coûteux. Il y a plein de personnes, n'est-ce pas, la famille et autres, qui m'aidaient, billets d'avion, aller passer par là. Et pas seulement coûteux, mais dangereux. J'ai eu des chiens enlevés, des chiens de garde, c'est moi enlevés et tués. J'ai eu de menaces. J'en ai toujours. Donc, quel est le plus utile? Me faire voir comme un opposant acharné, sans résultat. Mais pour votre gouvernement, heureusement que j'ai aujourd'hui des témoins. Le nombre de villages dans le pays Bassa que je fais avec le Dr Balegri, là, il va vous dire. Mais on ne fait pas des meetings. On fait des groupes de 30, de 40, maison à maison, ce que nous faisons. Et c'est ce que le docteur Akwa fait. Il y a des groupes de 25, 30 personnes qui s'appellent Hope Movement. Just small groups. C'est ce que nous faisons. Donc, et je vous dis, c'est efficace. Parce que le retour, nous avons. Donc, et puis en fin de compte, nous devons transformer les élections de 2025 en un référendum pour ou contre Biya. Oubliez nous autres. Ça peut être quelqu'un d'autre. Mais tant qu'on ne transforme pas les élections de 2025 en un référendum, si vous voulez Biya, oui ou non, on n'ira nulle part. Si on est focalisé entre nous les opposants, oh, les autres étaient là, toi, tu n'étais pas là. C'est très bien. On va parler de ça, de from sunset to sunset to from sunrise to sunset. Et rien ne va avancer. Et c'est ça le tard, n'est-ce pas, de nous autres, supposément opposants camerounais. C'est-à-dire, nous passons notre temps à nous tirer dessus. À nous tirer dessus. Et vous avez quelqu'un qui a 13 ans, bon, il ne sort pas, on ne le voit pas de conseil des ministres, 6 promotions de gars des NAM qui n'ont pas encore de travail. Bon, ben voilà, sa fille prend le jet et revient, ou narque au téléphone. Sa femme, n'est-ce pas, nommer son fils au Tradex comme membre du conseil. Ils vont à Dubaï, bon, ils créent des sociétés, ils mettent ça dans les paradis fiscaux. Les Camerounais sont là, comme ça. Là. Donc, moi, je pense que, de mon expérience, là où ils ont peur, c'est sur la corruption. Et j'ai fait 30 ans avec Transparency International. Je peux vous dire, les études montrent que plus un pays est corrompu, plus c'est difficile d'effectuer la transition. Imaginez quelqu'un comme Gongo. S'il n'est pas au gouvernement en novembre, il va faire quoi? Il va aller où? Oh, ben, Dali Moudou dont c'est l'ami de Kenneth, il a parlé tout à l'heure. Elle va faire quoi? Ces gens ils ont envoyé 3 directeurs aller voir mon directeur de communication à Douala. Il faudrait qu'on me contacte, je suis compliqué. Les gars leur ont dit non. Mais vous le voyez, vous l'appelez, vous allez le voir. Mais la seule chose est que bah, si vous le voyez, la seconde que vous sortez de ton bureau, il va tweeter. Et ils sont tous partis. Non, mais.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Thank you. In the interest of time, please, I'll take a few more questions. Please be fast. I'll take the 3 questions together.
Thank you. Merci, Président Akere. Merci au Président au professeur Koumvanda. Ma question, elle est très simple. Président Akere Mouna, je voudrais savoir déjà.
Je vais commencer avec la dernière partie. C'est la plus facile. Je suis avocat, j'ai fait ce métier pour 46 ans. Je continue à faire le consultant. Là où je suis, je le fais pour le Centrafrique et pour la Zambie, sur la lutte contre la corruption et la gouvernance. Donc vraiment, j'ai un boulot. C'est même bête de faire ce que je fais maintenant parce que c'est coûteux. Mais qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Il faut, à un moment donné, vous dire qu'il faut quand même quelque chose à faire. C'est pour ça que j'ai dit 5 ans. On a convenu avec les partenaires, 5 ans de transition et je m'en vais. Est-ce que je parle avec les autres? J'ai parlé avec tout le monde. J'ai parlé avec Issa Chiroma avant qu'il ne démissionne. 4 semaines avant qu'il démissionne. Pour vous dire, il m'avait dit 4 semaines avant qu'il allait démissionner. Bouba Bello, j'ai parlé avant. J'ai parlé eux tous. Donc, mais dans notre coalition, la personne qui est chargée de faire ce travail, c'est le docteur Balayel, celui qui parle avec le couple de Douala, il parle avec tous les leaders. Et je pense que c'est à vous, les citoyens, de mettre cette pression-là. Et c'est pour ça que je pourrais même remercier le président Biya parce que le fait qu'il se représente est la toute première grande pression qui nous oblige à nous mettre ensemble. C'est ça la question. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour le faire partir? Et ce qui est intéressant, c'est ce qu'a dit l'évêque qui avait suivi l'évêque de Yagua. L'évêque de Yagua. Il a dit que même si c'est le diable, prenons le diable, on verra après. C'est pour vous dire, c'est un peu ça. Le fait maintenant, c'est comment faire partie. Je ne sais pas s'il est là parce qu'il le veut. Il est là parce que d'autres personnes le veulent. Mais ça, c'est leur cuisine intérieure. Il faut que nous assurons que les Camerounais le veulent. Votre question sur le pourcentage, je ne peux pas vous dire. Je pense que le coup, si les Camerounais sont ensemble, l'opposition, avec un candidat de consensus, on a de fortes chances. Parce que si vous regardez la cartographie politique, si du septentrion, qui était vraiment le joker, n'est-ce pas, du président Biya, se mettent ensemble et se mettent, pour lui, le centre, le sud n'est plus acquis. Hein. Pas du tout. Pas du tout. Les Kiés et ce qu'on voit au sud est déjà au centre. Bon. Pour le pays Bassa, n'est-ce pas, parler avec Dr Baleguel, là-bas, c'est grave. Si vous partez vers les pays Sawa, c'est pas évident. Vous tombez tout de suite dans le sud-ouest et le nord-ouest, démobilisé par la guerre, et puis vous partez dans l'ouest. Donc, c'est pour lui très, très compliqué. Il faudra pour lui donc une machine de fraude extraordinaire. Et c'est seulement possible si nous ne sommes pas dans le bureau de vote. Si vous êtes dans le bureau de vote, ça peut se faire, mais c'est difficile. Et un truc additionnel qu'on est en train de vouloir faire au niveau de notre QG, je suis en train maintenant de parler avec les avocats pour avoir environ un avocat par arrondissement qui va être là comme bastion pour aider s'il y a un problème juridique. Je pense qu'on est très, très bien positionné. Très bien positionné. Notre problème, c'est des Camerounais de saisir cette chance et aussi les leaders d'opposition.
All right. Thank you. Two last questions, please. We have time issues bothering us now.
I know we are running out. So, what are the calls to action? So, what do you expect from us? Like, right now, what do you expect from us? So, I don't want to.
Yeah.
From the diaspora or the call to action since we are running out.
What do we expect from Cameroonians? First, you Cameroonians living abroad. If you guys can, you know something you can do, which will help us greatly. Why don't you guys come together and say, you know what? We are going to put together a certain amount of money. If you have a coalition of 3, 4, 5, I don't know what, then we'll hand it to you for your campaigns. That's one way of doing it. A platform. I mean, that is basically the key to the success is financial. So you guys have to be able to get together and contribute to the struggle. That's it, you know. As they say, no money, no honey. You know what I'm saying? So you really have, that is it, basically. And secondly, talk to your people back home. Tell them to be ready. Tell them that change is going to come, you know. It is important for them to be motivated. The government has done a fantastic job in making people believe that heads, they win, tails, they win. So you have to change that. I've spoken to diplomats who just say, well, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, Biya will still win. And, you know, and many Cameroonians believe that, especially those living abroad. It is not so. It is not so. I mean, it's just because we never go to the polling stations. We don't have, you know, scrutateur in police. We don't have them. We don't send. Last time, 70% of the voting offices didn't have scrutateur. Even if we don't agree, we can mutualize the different regions to make sure that all of them are covered. So that's what I think. Thank you. There was one last question. No, there you shoot.
Okay. Thank you to give me the floor. I'm Mr. Janvier Ndikama, a journalist, you know. Donc, je suis arrivé ici à la faveur de la Coupe du Monde des clubs. J'ai déjà un mois ici aux États-Unis. Cela m'a donné l'occasion de regarder, d'écouter, d'échanger avec pas mal de Camerounais, notamment dans la zone de Washington et tout ce qu'on connaît. Ce que je voulais dire, c'est que je vous ai suivi avec beaucoup d'attention. J'ai une trentaine d'années de journalisme, dont je ne vous connais pas aujourd'hui. Votre responsable de la communication, c'est un collègue et ami. Ce qui me gêne un peu, j'ai la chance d'avoir avec vous, nous ici, là, le professeur Nkounvondo, le secrétaire général Baleguel. Quand on vous entend, quand on vous écoute, on vous connaît, vous êtes monsieur propre, ça se discute pas. Hein. Vous avez de l'épaisseur, vous pouvez être chef d'État du Cameroun. Il y a des choses qui vont arriver, qui vont permettre au Cameroun de se développer. Quand on écoute aussi d'autres leaders, on sent qu'il y a quelque chose aussi. Vous êtes peut-être deux ou trois, il y a quelqu'un qui l'a dit. Il y a des leaders qui peuvent amener le Cameroun, même dans le cadre d'une transition que vous proposez, à aller nettement plus loin, ou du moins à redécoller. Moi, je vais poser une question toute simple. Excusez-moi d'avoir pris cette tournure. C'est que dans le cadre d'une élection à un seul tour, si vous allez en rang dispersé, si vous êtes deux ou trois contre le président Biya, quelle est la probabilité des chances que vous avez de pouvoir gagner? Si vous ne, à mon avis, si l'opposition doit battre le président Biya, c'est si vous, les grosses têtes, vous les uns et les autres sur leurs égaux et poussent une seule personne contre le président Biya. Parce qu'une élection où les grosses têtes vont en rang dispersé, c'est les forces qui vont aussi se disperser, à mon avis. Merci. La question, est-ce que vous pensez que l'élection en un tour est une garantie de succès aujourd'hui?
Pas du tout. Je suis entièrement d'accord avec vous. Et je suis le seul, je ne veux pas m'appeler grosse tête, candidat qui est fréquemment vu avec d'autres leaders. Je vous mets au défi de regarder sur ce qu'il y a. Vous avez aujourd'hui le docteur Baleguel, vous avez aussi le professeur Kouroundo. Est-ce que vous connaissez un leader politique au Cameroun qui part dans les meetings? On part toujours à 3, à 4, à 5 ou à 6 et on parle tous ensemble. Donc, nous avons déjà dans notre ADN le fait qu'il faut être ensemble pour vaincre. Et ce que nous cherchons à faire. Donc, c'est clair que si on essaie d'y aller en rang dispersé, pour emprunter votre expression, et on va au casse-pipe. On va au casse-pipe. Donc, c'est essentiel qu'on se mette ensemble. Et j'étais à une cérémonie à Fumban, invité par Madame Damjo. Elle dit que, mais écoute, le jour où la liste sort, on va s'enfermer, comme chez le pape, jusqu'à ce qu'il y ait une fumée blanche. On n'a pas de choix. Et je dis ça pourquoi? Parce que je suis d'avis que la première erreur tactique du président Biya, c'est de se représenter. Parce que ça nous oblige tous de l'opposition à nous organiser sincèrement pour avoir un candidat consensuel. Je vais m'y mettre. Le fait de se mettre derrière quelqu'un, pour moi, ce n'est pas une nouveauté. Donc, je dois vous dire. Oui, justement, je sais, c'est ce que tout le monde me dit. Mais on va le faire. Et puis, pour just to close, vous savez, le seul corps au Cameroun qui représente le pays vraiment, c'est le barreau. Le barreau du Cameroun a une architecture qui vous fait comprendre les enjeux anglophones, francophones, bamileke, tout ça là. C'est là au barreau que vous apprenez ça. Et on vient d'avoir le résultat. J'avais créé ce qu'on appelait le groupe Arc-en-Ciel pour que ça prenne tout le monde. J'ai essayé de pousser ça, mais les autres, bon. Donc, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Pour la première fois dans l'histoire du barreau du Cameroun, on a le président de l'Assemblée générale anglophone, le vice-président de l'Assemblée générale anglophone, le bâtonnier anglophone. À cause de ce fait que les gens ne savent pas que chaque système doit être construit. Chaque système doit être construit. Le Cameroun est le seul barreau qui a ce bicéphalisme. Dans tous les autres pays, le bâtonnier ou le président de la Bar Association et aussi le président de l'Assemblée générale. Sauf que quand on crée le barreau du Cameroun en 72, il y avait plus d'avocats anglophones que francophones. Donc on a dit donc il faudrait qu'il y ait une instance qui ait à sa tête un francophone, donc Maître Bonnard, le français, et de l'autre côté c'était Gorgidinka, le camerounais. Donc c'est une pratique qui a pris des années et ça commence à revenir, n'est-ce pas? D'autres ont dit que c'est l'équité politique, je n'en sais rien, mais je pense que notre salut sera dans un mouvement conjoint. Et c'est à vous aussi de mettre la pression. C'est à vous, les citoyens, de mettre la pression. Moi, j'y crois, je sais que ça va arriver. Kenneth, it's yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please.
Do they have this document?
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a very pertinent question was asked. What can we in the diaspora do? This is going on around. As you all know very well, politics is a very, very expensive operation. Please, before you go, take a look at this, scan it. Okay? If you want to make a political contribution, please do over the on this. And then we have these books, as I mentioned earlier. We have these books, as I mentioned earlier. Everything about the candidates platform. 80% of what we've said tonight, a lot of it is in here. It's just fundraising. Get 1 or 2 copies and share. Thank you very much for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Lastly, Dr. John Ako has his